idea to have this beautiful bouquet of flowers from 1-800-Flowers.com that you can give to your mom. Or you could have a year's worth of ice cream. Remote control car, you could have this lollipop all for yourself.
I want to give them to Mama. Give the flowers to Mom. I think I'm going to go with the flowers.
Feet hurting, world full of busy bees working. I ain't never met a free person. I don't get along with these earthlings. I'm trying to seek purpose, fight for something I believe's worth it. For the curse, I'ma reverse it. I don't dream cause I sleep nervous. Yet I keep flirting, face death like a Steve Irwin. Whole heat, I'ma drink thermos. Tell the bartender keep serving. I'm trying to be perfect, using dirty shit to clean dirt with. Only happy when the weed burning. Traded oxygen to breathe herping. Till I see curtains, lungs fail and they cease working. Air is something that I need urgent. Suffocating, trying to squeeze words in. What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell? Would I cry? Would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a glass chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my last breath, walking the last step. I'm on the last test, final answer and my last guess. Wonder what I gotta pass next. I'm on my last quest, so much harder than my last track. Mad bless, hope I can outlast death. Grim Reaper got my address, down on my last cent. Cash spent from a check I don't even have yet from my last rent. Sweater shit has got me mad stressed. I inherited my dad's debt. Never got to hear his last breath. And the only reason I ain't passed yet, I'm the first ever and the last left.
I let the record show. I let the tech explode. Put on the weapon show. Pull up the Texaco. Knuckles in Mexico. Call up the technical. They know the text will blow. Shot that I'm Plexico. Turn you to vegetable. Body electrical. Acid and alkaline. Body so flexible. The shooter's feast like a Uber Eats. Got a group of these scooter bees. While letting the Uzi Aruga speak. An American got up in Cuba eats. The powers they seek and powers the weak. They follow and creeps. Powers they be. Inherit the world from cowards and sheep. Bit to the mountains, towers and peaks. Flowers and sweets and showered our feet. The lightning and thunder, the shower the sleep. Shower the D's. This not the first, this our receipts. What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell? Would I cry? Would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a glass chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my last breath, walking the last step. I'm on the last test, final answer and my last guess. Wonder what I gotta pass next. I'm on my last quest, so much harder than my last track. Mad bless, hope I can outlast death. Grim Reaper got my address, down on my last cent. Cash spent from a check I don't even have yet from my last rent. Sweater shit has got me mad stressed. I inherited my dad's debt. Never got to hear his last breath. And the only reason I ain't passed yet, I'm the first ever and the last left.
It's like a track finish. I attract women, they the bad women. I'ma splash in them, leave a bag with them. Then I raise seas to be mad different. If I die now, I'm coming back in them. Cause they dad missing, but they cash dripping. Cause they royalty, so they brag different. Ain't no ass kissing, never had feelings. Seen a white victim and a black witness. Gripping on my last mission. Yak sipping, blowing blackism. Gat missing, he was lack slipping. Smack hit him, now we act different. Apparition, the bad vision. The Mac a chip him and crash the system. Uncle Tom, cause you that willing. Fuck the law, I'm going back to living. Astral prisms of black religions. Activism to conversations. Sacrilegious to palms of Satan. Black magicians, Babylon erasing. Raise our hands to the God we praising. Hustling, the marathon we racing. Nipsey at the finish line, he waiting.
What would I do with my last breath? Would I yell? Would I cry? Would I laugh? Cause I'm glad that I'm past that mess. Till I pass, never felt that blessed. Even bad breath when you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a glass chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my last breath, walking the last step. I'm on the last test, final answer and my last guess. Wonder what I gotta pass next. I'm on my last quest, so much harder than my last track. Mad bless, hope I can outlast death. Grim Reaper got my address, down on my last cent. Cash spent from a check I don't even have yet from my last rent. Sweater shit has got me mad stressed. I inherited my dad's debt. Never got to hear his last breath. And the only reason I ain't passed yet, I'm the first ever and the last left.
Last breath. Can't bother. Yes. Long live Nipsey. Long live Fred the God. And long live Pop Smoke. Kings. True kings in this thing. You know what I'm talking about? Woo! Don't let that corona take your last breath. You know what I'm talking about? We put that out in the summertime. How did we know? Last Breath came out in the summertime, right? Last Breath came out in July. The album came out in July. Matter of fact, that song is off the album Holy Ghost 2. Go and purchase that album. Support Father Rich and support Cambada. And Dayton, Ohio is in the house. Support Cambada and Rich because they're supporting you. Merritt Island is in the house. If Merritt Island never gets to come to New York or never gets to come to a lecture, you could go and listen to that music, and that's what it is to be in a lecture. That's what it feels like on a music scale to be in a Phil Valentine lecture. If you listen to the Holy Ghost album, Mystic Philly in the building. Mystic Philly, you need to be playing that music mad loud in your hood. You know what I'm talking about? Play this music. I'm not saying that because I'm doing the music. I'm saying that because this is going to be the music that you are going to be hearing 10 years from now, 20 years from now, St. Louis. That is if you want to hear this music. So if you want to hear the music, DJs that are out there, I'm speaking mostly to DJs who have control of playlists. I'm speaking to DJs who are going to come out of the coronavirus and go back to spinning those same tired ass songs that you've been spinning. That's dealing with that was giving the people the coronavirus in the first place, right? Little Rock, you understand what I'm saying? Little Rock, Boston, can you smell me? Dallas, do you feel me? Maryland, do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? How about you, Toledo? Huh? How about Cali? You feeling what I'm saying? That the DJs, right? We're gonna have an interesting talk tonight. Shout out to Hartford. Holla black at me, all right? I'm in the vicinities. Salute to Australia. And I got clothing. I got product. Los Angeles, Louisville, H-Town in the building, right? San Diego in the building. Los Angeles in the building. Louisville, Kentucky in the building. Look, shout out to Louisville. When I went out there, me and Blue went out there twice. Mad love. Shout out to the Moors out there. Shout out El Patah. It was mad love from the gate. We did a lecture. We did a powerful lecture at the Muhammad Ali Center. We did a monumental lecture at the Muhammad Ali Center. Now that I bring that up, I got to contact that brother about that footage. That's something that, oh man. My footage campaign right now, because I got Netflix, but not just my footage campaign, the fact that I was able to sit back and realize how much footage I don't have of the shit that I've done over the years. You know what I'm talking about? We're going to talk about how the age of the promoter is over and why I feel like it should stay over. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have this talk about why the age of the janky promoter and just the age of the promoter has been completely disrupted and shifted. Because let me share something with you. A promoter could no longer pay me what they was paying me before COVID-19. Not because I'm super lit and my whole crew is eating. Not that part. Just for the simple fact that COVID-19 exposed the lecturers to the Zoom. COVID-19 exposed the lecturers to the live stream. And they cut the middleman out. You know what I'm saying? So the little $1,000 that you probably could pay somebody as an honorarium, shit, they could get that sitting in their boxers right in the crib. You can't give them you can't throw peanuts at them. You can't pay $500 to somebody to drop some bars anymore. You know, those days are over. That's been disrupted. Tonight we're gonna get into the disruption. And tonight we're gonna get into not just the disruption, we're gonna talk about the ascension. We're gonna identify the ascension. We're gonna go over what we went over on Saturday, and we're going to speak about how this whole reality, this whole world has ascended. St. Martin is in the building. All right. I feel good having the whole world around me, you know, surrounded. I didn't even know the title and the other platforms erased the Hegelian Dialect album. I had no idea that they did that. If they did that, that's super foul. You feel me? And they in direct violation of Stepman's legacy, because that was his most conscious album that he put out and was showing the direction that he was going in before he mysteriously and untimely met his demise. Seminole County, that's powerful. The Seminole County is in the building tonight. You know, I've taught about and I've researched Seminole County when I was doing the research on the Trayvon Martin factor in 2013. You know, I didn't know that Sanford was in Seminole County. And then when I did the research on Seminole County, I think it's not incorporated and whatnot. It was very interesting. So shout out to all of the family in Seminole County. Now, there was a post that a sister put up there when I was doing the roll call. And one of the reasons why I do the roll call is because of the fact that we live in a new reality. And in this new reality, there's an ascension that has taken place. And a result of this ascension is that we are going to be doing things a little bit differently around here in these parts, going forth from here on out, right? And one of the things that are going to change from here on out is we're going to focus on the medium that we're using right now. Speaking to who? Speaking to, at this moment, according to the counter, 359 people. That's a significant amount of people, and I'm honored to be in your presence, right? But when I do the roll call, I do the roll call on purpose to show you this. I do the roll call to show the family that we are spread all around the world, and we're receiving this information on every single Melanin Monday, Third Eye Thursday, Tough Talk Tuesdays, Action Classy Wednesday, right? We're receiving all of this information all around the world. And you don't have to wait for me to come to your city. I'm in your city right now. You understand? You don't have to wait for a date for me to pull up in your city where somebody in one state will get to see me, but people from all around the world won't get to see me. Why not just do it where I'm in a central location and I get to talk to the whole world at once? I think that would be more fairer. That's what I'm talking about with the shift that has taken place. That's what I'm talking about with the ascension. It's subtle, but that little point right there, or the little point that I said that from a person, like from my standpoint, I'm the talent, right? I have my own platform, so I function as management and talent. What do you mean by that, Red Pill? What I mean by that is this. I have no to ledge platform, right? We've introduced scholars into the community that are master teachers, you know, and we've introduced scholars into the community that are master reachers, you know what I'm saying? And we've also been the pillars to usher in a whole slew, a whole classroom, a whole university, a whole pantheon of master teachers, master students going on down the line. So in my No to Ledge radio days, I function as media, the twin pillars, right? So we're interviewing our guests. So I'm functioning in the role of a journalist. I'm functioning in the role of the media. It's not about Red Pill on the show. It's not about who I am or what I have to offer in the sense that I'm offering it as a teacher and a scholar. In the capacity of KTL Radio, I'm functioning as media. I'm a journalist. I'm actually in fucking class, because every single show that we had a guest on the show. And the idea of the pillars in masonry. Now, I'm not a fucking mason. And what I'm saying is, when I speak about masonry, I'm speaking about what they stole from our people, something that was sacred. So when I speak about the twin pillars and Boaz and Jachem, I'm speaking about it in its quote unquote in the speculation of it. But the fact that two twin pillars and the arch degree, we represent that in the flesh, and we're above any of those quote unquote organizations. We're doing this in real time. We're working on Sophia Stewart's algorithm. She wrote the code to the red pill and the blue pill and the arch degree. This is that type of temple, the real temple. So as a journalist, I'm not there to debate. I'm not there to outshine the speaker. I'm not there to hide. I'm not there to go in and to go upstairs all the way. I'm there to be a journalist. And there's a limit to how far you can go, because you have to allow your guests to have the floor. And you invited them, right? They're on your show, so they're a guest in your house. So, you know, somebody comes into your house, is very rude if you try to attack them. If somebody were to come into your house, it would be somewhat it would be almost agent like if you were to set someone up. It's almost like the scene when my dude Danny DeVito thought he was going to get his ring and whatnot, and they lined his ass up. They lined him up in both movies. They lined him up, right? They lined him up in Casino and in Goodfellas. He got it both times. So people that try to line you up, that's not journalism. That's agent provocateurism. That's not journalism. You know what I mean? That's almost like some shit that happened with Mitch and with Alpo and Rich. You know, yeah, Joe Pesci, he got lined up in the two movies. My guy, Joe Pesci, Tarantino, when they baseball batted him, and then when he went into the crib and got that bullet behind his ear, he thought he was being made. I said, Danny DeVito, you know what I'm talking about. So after I said, you know what? I'm going to step out and brand the red pill, right? It's time for the red pill to get out there and get on his own and do his own brand of not journalism, but of teaching, right? So then I got out there and I began to teach. I didn't do the radio show anymore because I switched roles from being a journalist, right? Similar, because I was a journalist like how Peter Parker's a journalist, or how Clark Kent is a journalist at the Daily Thing. We were out there telling the news. 11:11. Send positive, loving energy. Send powerful energy. This is the Pluto retrograde. Om Padme Om. All right. Send loving energy to all of our ancestors. Thank them for opening up the gates for us. Thank them for the paradigm shift. Be very thankful. Be very grateful. Have a lot of gratitude in your heart. Be very thankful for the times that you're in. Do not denounce the times that you're in. Only denounce the times that you were in. All right. Because you are in a new day. You're in a new time. All kind of gates are opening up. The divine feminine energy is taking its place on this planet. Mother Earth is waking up. It is shaking a lot of the parasites off of it. All right. A lot of things are being removed so new things could come about. Okay. And if you do the meditation, especially do the Pluto retrograde, you will understand and understand what it is that I'm saying. So let that thing talk to you. Receive the information, not from me, from the sun. Go into the sun, download this information, go into the moon, as a matter of fact, and you could get this. Okay? Because this is that time right now. So yeah. You know. I'm gonna get back to the 11:11 meditations. We're gonna be bringing back the meditations. We brought the meditations at 11:11 to KTL. Now look how life works. Where's my other 11? I got two 11s. It's 11:11 now. I got 11 right here, and the other 11 is in the kitchen. So I want to bring back the meditations because I want to work with the quantum mind. I want to tap into the quantum mind. I know that when I do these roll calls and I'm calling out all of these places and these grids, that we're forming a quantum mind, we're forming a web, we're forming a net, we're forming a network, and my network is my net worth. I feel like I'm worth $1 trillion right now because of my network. So we need to tap into the quantum mind aspect of that. This is not 2012, this is not 2014, this is 2020. This is a different era. This is a different epoch. You're on a different motherboard. This shit is different. This is a level. This is different. It hit differently. The sun shine different. The sun got halos around them. Real talk. Can you benefit from 1111 if you're in a different time zone? You could definitely benefit if you're in a different time zone. The power of the 1111 meditation, you could do it every time it hits any time zone, but the power of tapping into the 1111 meditation while we're doing it on the show is the quantum mind. Don't mind the numbers. It's the quantum mind. It's the fact that at the same time you are connected to a group of individuals who are on your frequency, who have shown up it could be 2 of us, it could be 3 of us, but God Blaney, it's 483 of us. God Blaney. And what about when it's 4,000 of us? What about when it's 48,000 of us? What then? Because it's going to be 4 million of us soon. What about that? This is where the power is. The power is in the people. And I don't want to sound all preachy and whatnot, but I could give it to you simple, and I could give it to you in a more complex way. But KT comes around and he gives you the science about the power is in the people. He shows you that the human body is the vehicle of God. This is an intelligently designed, powerful vehicle. You know. So we are tapping in. Things are being done. Things are happening. So let's go back to this thing about this promoter thing, and let's go back to how things are beginning to shift. And let's just bring some insight into a business, in the practices of the business that have to be disrupted in order for it to be changed. Now, remember, we're in the midst of what is known as a disruption. They're not calling it that, but when you look at the term a disruptor, when you identify disruptors, and when you look at the COVID-19 or the coronavirus, whatever name you want to attribute it to it, this is a disruption, all right? This is a mass disruption. This might be one of the biggest disruptions that the world has witnessed collectively, right? This could go down as the disruptor of disruptors. So in comical terms, this is not apocalypse. This is maybe Galacticus. This is Galacticus, or this is Thanos. They wanted it to be Thanos because they said that 500 million, 100 million. I don't know. Somebody give me the numbers, because I don't have them in front of me. I didn't tally the numbers, but they were giving you Thanos numbers. They were giving you Avengers in-game numbers. That's a fact. That's a fact. They were giving you in-game numbers. So it's not really Thanos. It's more like Galacticus. That's what the disruptor is. It slowed everything down. But Saturn slows everything down, right? Saturn slows everything down. That's what Father Saturn does. It comes in and it slows the thing down. So things have slowed down. Now, people don't remember, because I don't know if they was paying attention to things like that, but we did a show with Rob Ben, and we explained that there was going to be a conjunction, right? Hold on. Let me show you something. There was a conjunction that took place, right? On Sunday, January 12th, right? meaning that this already happened. On Sunday, January 12th, there will be a conjunction between Saturn, the strict rule enforcer, the strict rule enforcer. Remember that title right there, the strict rule enforcer. Right? Look at my face. Stay at home. You know? Stay at home. Don't go to work. Sit your ass down. Bitch, you're non-essential. That's Saturn. Sit down. The strict ruler. They didn't even have to bring the tanks out. And everybody obeyed. Did they not? The whole world sat down. Did they not? They didn't have to do it militaristically. They did it through COVID. It happened through COVID. Remember, it happens through something. But as above, so below. This is an agent of change. Do you know what that means? An agent of change. It's a catalyst. So, yeah, we know about Billy Gates and all of this other things, WHO. But what if they're just going along? This is like Clash of the Titans. They're just the pieces in a puzzle of a play. What if this year they had to play, somebody got to play the villain, my niggas? You know what I'm talking about? They couldn't make Black Panther for all of those years because they couldn't find a Killmonger. So you need Bill Gates. You need your villains. You need 45 and the deep state and all of that. But at the end of the day, there's a procession of equinox taking place. The planets are moving. And this planet is influenced by the movement of these energies, the procession of the equinox. Right? I'm going to show you something in a minute. Let's get back into this thing real quick. Let's get back into this thing about what happened in January. It shifted the energy of the world. Did it not? Talk black to me. So the most intense day of 2020 was on January the 12th. How to survive astrology's most intense day of 2020. The planets haven't conspired to mess up your life this bad since 1982. So when there's an alignment in 2020, right? This in alignment with 1982. Then you're going to have to start identifying, well, all right, cool. Let me see how much shit from 82 is kind of like in the mist these days, because that there's a way to start gauging to see, yo, is that what it is? So to show you how 82 is back is easy, because remember, the planets are back. Right? They were aligned, like there was an alignment in 94 that just happened. There's an alignment now that's reminiscent of a 94 alignment. And now this here is an 82 energy. So that 82 energy is back, right? So the 82 energy shows up during the quarantine in the DJ battles, right? The 82 energy shows up in the DJ battles because that music is been reintroduced through D Nice, right? And all of the other DJs that are in their crib spinning 82 music, right? 94 music. Look, they just have a Biggie verse that just came out, a new verse. It came out of nowhere. I never heard this verse. There's a new Biggie verse on my Instagram page. It felt so good to hear the verse, bro. It felt so good to hear a new Biggie verse. It felt like I was in 94 again. So the alignment is 94. The last time the alignment would happen was in 94. And then they just dropped a Biggie song from 94 in 2020. That's how the great divine speaks through signs. Are you listening? Do you know what to fucking listen to? Or are you putting your ears to Negro babble? Bussies with attitudes like Charlemagne. The message came out in 82. Yeah, talk to me. Culture Club. Do you really want to hurt me? Marvin Gaye, right? Who was born on my son's birthday. Stevie Wonder. Culture Club. Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney. Lionel Richie, right? They was playing all of this on Instagram. Daryl Hall and John Oates. Aretha Franklin. They got her Planet Rock. That's facts. That's shout out to Black Dot in the building. So Planet Rock was that same time too. So you have to say, yo, that energy is back. So you might want to tap into the energy of that day. You might want to sit with the OGs like Black Dot. I don't know if Black Dot does consultations, but I know that he has his blog and I know he has his radio show. He has his YouTube, Urban X TV. So you might want to tap into Black Dot to find out what the wave was in these times, because this is that time. 94. Woo, 94 was a hell of a year. 94 was one of the illest years, music-wise, hip-hop wise, mixtape wise. That's the tunnel era. That's the beginning of the bad boy era. That's the ending of another era as well. That's the ending of like Ill and Out Scratch. The Heavy D era was coming to a close. That was a changing of the guards in 94, right? Illmatic, Nas was going crazy. Wu-Tang was going crazy. That was the Wu-Tang era. That was the beginning of the Wu-Tang era. They popped on whatchamacallit. The Wu-Tang popped in 93, and they was going crazy in 94. Yo, look at this shit. Niggas is like I was born in 94. That's crazy. I was on an island in 94. How about that? We was turned up in 94. We was super lit. Me and AA, we was super lit in 94. Blue, yeah, 94 is Nas, Snoop, Wu, B.I.G., Outkast, Bone Thugs. So let me go back to these horoscopes to show you that this energy is back because of the alignment. The alignment is dictating a lot of things, and we cannot give anybody outside. You don't have to give anyone credit. There's no credit to be given. It's just the procession of the equinoxes. The shit said fucking then what it said the goddamn planet of death was here. They said the planet of death was here. And it aligned with the planet of authority. It aligned with the planet of sit down. It aligned with the planet, Outkast, Mobb Deep, Keith Murray, Smith and Wesson, PM Dawn. Come on. 94 was right before the Million Men. Yeah. Smith and Wesson had Brooklyn on lock. They had Brooklyn on lock. People don't give them their props. UGK was cooking. Ooh, Cash Rules, my man. Remember Redman was lit? Remember Redman was a problem? I don't think people know about Redman being a problem. Before he started that thing with Method Man, Redman was a beast. Tribe Called Quest was doing their thing, Helter Skelter, Onyx. Yeah, play all of that music right now. When you, even if you're doing a meditation, or even if you might be on your altar or whatever, or even if you want to tap into this energy that's here right now, tap into the 94 energy, put on the 94, go on, you might go on eBay and buy some of the Hilfiger, buy some of the polo shit. I'm about to start dressing like it's 94 again. You feel me? Yeah, Shabba, I might wear me some Travel Fox with some goddamn Paco jeans. With some Paco jeans and some gold, some nice heavy Cuban links, some Nautica. You might want to rock the Columbia, the Whiz Bang, you know what I mean? The Columbia jackets with the goggles, you know what I mean? Because now we wearing masks. Look, we got masks, y'all. Who need them in 95? We got the masks. Who need them? Who need them? Shout out to all of my mask beauticians out there who've been beautifying the mask, making cloth masks and whatnot. I see y'all work. It's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? They said everybody in New York had to wear a mask. So that means that everybody in New York is getting money right now. Freak nigga. 94 Tupac movie. Yo, when I say movie, I wish I could scream at the top of my lungs right now. Movie. Movie. You got to remember, 97 was the book end. When Biggie died, that was the book into that whole run. There's a slot. There's an era. There's a slot. It's from 93, like 92, 93 to 97. Lockdown. I would pick that slot in a DJ battle through anybody's slot. Niggas could take 86 to 92 against 92 to 97. That's the illest period of hip hop ever. Hands down. Hands down. There's nothing fucking with that. I got time. Yeah, Grave Diggers. That was the Jordan era. You damn right. Who's seen the Jordan documentary? Jordan ruled, Jordan owned 94. Jordan ruled 93, 94. Him and Ralph Lauren was sharing that shit. 93, 94 was Jordan and Ralph. It was Mike and Ralph. Real talk. Nike and Polo all day. Nike and Polo. That shit you see these niggas wearing now, Snow Beaches, all of these dudes with these refurbished Polo that was acting like the day outside. Tell them to put their pictures out. Your mama gotta have some old Polaroids, my nigga. Put your pictures up. And you better not put a picture up when you at church wearing polo either, nigga. You better be with some fucking gremlins, my nigga. You better be with Stripe and maybe Gizmo. Yeah, Young Snoop is 94. I think Young Snoop is 94. When he talked about 187 on the undercover, ugh. Starter jackets. Niggas was getting rocked for their starter jackets. What? Columbia, Whiz Bangs. Video Music Box. Video Music Box is the most important show, content-wise. Video Music Box is the #1 show for hip-hop ever. If they ever talk about the #1 show and they don't say Video Music Box, then you know that that's Culture Vultures and Bussies with Attitudes are running that show right there. And they're lying and they're trying to change history. If they mess up the timeline, they're gonna mess up everything. I stand on that. And I'm not saying that because he's from, no, not Rap City. It doesn't happen with Rap City and it doesn't happen with Yo MTV Raps. We have to speak about foundation. Whenever we speak about foundation, we have to talk about originators. On this show, we deal with originators. This is a curated show. We're cultural curators. We're connoisseurs of culture, not just hip hop culture and not just consciousness. We're connoisseurs of art culture. We're connoisseurs of Western culture. We're connoisseurs of Eastern culture. We're connoisseurs of ancient cultures. We're connoisseurs of multiple cultures at Know the Ledge. So we're going to give you a timeline. We're going to give you a timeline, and we're going to bring receipts and facts with it. I'm just doing a show where I'm building on it. We can do this visually. We can do this receipt-wise. We could do this timeline-wise. We could go through Wikipedia and discographies and all of these things if you want to. This is something that can be done, and this is something that I feel should be done amongst the curators of the culture, because we've identified that there's a few breaches in the culture. They're out here trying to remix shit, and if they had it their way, Rap City would be one of the most important rap shows that brought about the Rap City basement and all of these things. And I would say that you cannot argue with something that came after Foundation. Give me Foundation. What the fuck is the Divine Spark? What was the blueprint that these people who copied the motherfucking blueprint came up with? Oh, the blueprint was Ralph McDaniels. Video Music Box. They came with a fucking paid service called a box and made money off that shit. The niggas down south was buying it, thinking that they was getting them to route. Even though it was cool, because that was like the internet, the beginning of the internet, because you could order your videos. That was like videos on demand. I like that model. But Video Music Box on channel 33, UHF, you had to turn it with the fucking pliers. It was one show that came on that channel, and that was it. I don't think they played anything else ever on the channel. This shit was like pirate TV. And there wasn't no video that Ralph McDaniel played that's not a fucking hip hop classic, bro. That nigga broke everybody. Ed Lover and Dr. Dre came later. That's later. That's later. That is later. That's after the fucking Foundation was already created. New York they already had their golden era damn near. And then, because remember, MTV and them, they started really popping with NWA, I think. They was getting NWA, they was doing the D Barnes. D Barnes had shit lit. Don't give them niggas that credit. Even 106 and Park and all of that. That's later on down the line. Ralph McDaniels was that nigga, yo. I'm telling you. And I'm not just saying that because I'm from the town. But he was breaking artists. He was breaking artists. That music definitely saved us. That music was our Bible. Them videos, when the fucking symphony came on, nigga, them videos taught us fashion. Them videos taught us what neighborhoods to avoid. Crazy Sam. Them videos taught us who was who in the city. Man, them videos taught us a lot. God damn. That was our world. What? That was our world. Nigga, what would Big Daddy Kane do? What would Big Daddy Kane do? What would Bismarcky do? Huh? What would KRS-One do? And then Biggie's and all of them came down the line. And then Jay-Z comes later. Ralph McDaniels, you got to give him his props. He built the stage, and everybody they come after him. They come after him. He laid it out. You did not need to, once you saw his formula and copied it, they didn't need him anymore. And they commercialized. It's almost like how the woke niggas came in on the consciousness. Ralph McDaniels' consciousness, Yo MTV Rap, that's that woke shit. You know what I mean? That's these niggas coming in and taking something that's authentic and putting their corporate sponsors sprinkles on it. That's what you saw, because that was all corporate. That was linked in with they were creating, they were creating and manufacturing their version of what they wanted to be a star through MTV, VH1, and Viacom. Not Ralph McDaniels. He was more so organic. Like, if you're lit like that, if you got talent like that, the people were out there choosing niggas. If you got talent like that, then the people will let me know to put more videos on. And when they did the Fresh Fest and all of that, and they were selling out stadiums and all of that, they knew what it was. They knew what it was. Yeah, that's a facts. What? Let's not even get into the reggae shit. Let's not even get into the sound systems. These niggas are having rap battles and they won't give credit to the fucking Stone Love and Addies and Babyface and Mataron. They won't give shout outs to fucking Kilimanjaro and them. And these niggas, you know, DJ Khaled, he did the woke shit to them. He came in and woke out their motherfucking reggae, the dancehall shit, and then ran and then Hollywooded it. And now he's getting checks from their fucking craft. I'm saying that the fucking day has come to an end to where people is out here pimping this culture like that. I don't even know what the damn culture is, to be honest with you. I don't even know what's left. It's almost like a nigga stepping out on the Serengeti telling a whole bunch of fucking vultures, stop eating a carcass, and the only thing that's left is a hoof. You know what I'm saying? But they're definitely in consciousness eating off the carcass of this bitch. You know, she died a long time ago, but they're finishing her off, all of the woke people. Let's continue reading this thing though. I wanna show you more information about these alignments because we're in the throes of that right now. You know what I mean? And everybody is going to give all kind of excuses as to what's happening. And I'm saying if you know what's going on above you, then you know what's going on below you. As if eclipses weren't enough to handle, it's time to get ready for an even rarer, foundation-shaking cosmic event, one that hasn't happened since 1982. On Sunday, January 12th, there will be a conjunction between Saturn, the strict ruling force, and Pluto, the lord of the underworld. This means the two planets will be in the same position in the zodiac, marking the beginning of a new cycle. All right? The Saturn-Pluto conjunction only comes around every few decades, and this one coincides with a meeting between Mercury, the planet of communication, and the mind, and the sun, or source of vitality, henceforth, coronavirus. I wish you could see my face when I said that. Coronavirus. Okay. These niggas are still talking about low cash. Low cash. Yeah, that's when the low cash niggas was popping in '94, right? All them niggas out of low cash from there was an NWA out here lying and stuff. So the Saturn-Pluto conjunction only comes around every few decades, and this one coincides with a meeting between Mercury, the planet of communication, and the mind, and the sun, our source of vitality. Saturn and Pluto are both very slow-moving planets, so whenever they align, it's a big deal. Saturn is the planet of structure, time, limitations, right? Structure, right? Let me just explain how this thing works. Let me explain how sorcery works. Let me explain how the people in power tap into the energy that's in the alignment, tap into the energy that's in the quote unquote cosmos, tap into the cosmological or the cosmologic energy or the astrological energy, and they manipulate that energy in their favor because in the 2020s, everything that you put your fingers on or that you put your intention and your will behind, you can make that thing pop. You have the power to do that, right? You have the power to do that. Okay? So let me continue. So Saturn is the planet of structure. Structure is government, time. So the government and limitations and responsibility. So structure, the government, It's telling you for amount of time, you have to put limitations on your travel, limitations on your thing, and be responsible. Put on the mask and be responsible. Stay in the house and be responsible. Have 6 feet or 4 feet distance. 4 feet distance from the next person. That's it, right? That's how they're lining it up. Is that not it? Please press 1 if you understand what I'm saying. And FYI, I'm going to start a radio show called Crown Radio in about a week's time, right? Crown Radio is coming. So everybody's request to hear some 90s music and some real hip hop and some God hop music is coming. I'm going to carry that. And I have not just on my own shoulders, I got others with me. So I see y'all in the chat room. Y'all have the same musical taste as your boy. And I love it because I love this music and I know that this music is healing. There are 2 energies on this planet. There is joy and there is fear. There is love and there is hate. My intentions for the rest of the while we're doing this countdown is to make you laugh and to bring you some goddamn joy. Because we already got the fear and we already got the hate. So the only thing that's really left for this thing is some kind of joy and some kind of love. And that's what we need to bring to the people collectively. That's what we need to get behind. That's the energy that we need to be a part of. That's the upgrade. That's the ascension. Real talk. Okay? Yeah. Y'all hear the young God. Keep going in. This is the most high pressure day of this year. You have to be responsible and mature, hard as nails and tough. You have to be willing to make sacrifices and to accept failure, or you're going to be dominated by the energy. So the sacrifices that we had to make is the sacrifices of not going to work, the sacrifices of not going outside, the sacrifices of not, doing what we were doing previously, and to somewhat be in solitary confinement and start working on you. That's all Saturn. That's all Saturn. And Saturn is about strictness. Saturn is about causing a pandemic and sitting you down by way of the government, by way of the authority and the structures, even if they had to roll tanks and make you slow down and sit down and start focusing on the inner you. You can't go outside, but they did not say that you cannot go inside. They're not telling you that you cannot go inside. And how do I know that this is being ordained by the ancestors and the great divine and speaking in science? Is because the ascension of Baba Kalindi, who is a master teacher of the quote unquote inner spaces or the inner sanctums of the mind, and by going there by way of the plant medicines, right? This is what he spoke of. So in the times where this is something that we should be doing, and this is something that we could be doing, and this is something that many are already doing, he makes ascension, and that immortalizes his lessons for these times, because now many people who probably never even heard of him are now introduced to his information, and that information is saving them right now because everyone is in the journey. We are in the throes, or we are in the midst of what is called a Kairos moment. Okay, the Kairos moment. That was the subtitle of our lecture, Ascension 2020, Ascension Protocol 2020. All right, the Kairos moment is basically, definition of the Kairos moment is a moment in time. A moment in time, unlike any other moment in time, a moment in time of supreme opportunity, a moment in time, a once in a lifetime, damn near, of opportunity, translated as a window of opportunity, translated as a time, a moment in time where you could crawl through a window and do things that have never been done. This is the time that we're in, fam. I have no mistake about it. From what I'm seeing, this is definitely those times. You know, this is definitely those times. And there's going to be success stories coming out of the COVID-19 or the coronavirus crisis that are going to be, they're going to eclipse the success stories of the 2019s, of the old era, the old age. I'm sorry to say, but that age is over. Those days are done. This shit is behind us. 2020 actually really represented a new epoch because it disrupted and erased and put behind a whole bunch of things. It ended a whole, it game over a whole bunch of things. It Wreck-It Ralph. Remember Wreck-It Ralph? Remember Wreck-It Ralph? This shit got Wreck-It Ralph. Just like that. Additionally, the conjunction will be taking place in Capricorn, home. Our earth sign is very industrious and concerned with building for the future. Annabelle said, this is a time when we can witness great structures coming down, regardless of how strong their foundations are. Is that not what you're seeing? Take a click. Look how the ancestors work. They got structures falling down and shit. Yeah. We don't need all the extra special effects, ancestors. Thank you. We don't need the emphasis. I think they get the point. Some shit was about to really fall down and shit was gonna explode. Real talk. But that's what that, the universe, they say men lie, women lie, numbers don't. No, nigga, numbers do lie. You can manipulate numbers. Nigga, what are you talking about? They got computers now. Don't fall for that one. That's a remix. Men lie, women lie, the constellations don't. The precession of the equinox don't. Men lie, women lie, and the stars don't. And every nigga is a star. Stars don't lie. So let me see. Do y'all see this? Yeah, y'all see this. On April 4th, Jupiter and Pluto will make their first of 3 conjunctions in Capricorn. In astrology speak, a conjunction occurs when 2 or more planets align at an exact degree in the same zodiac sign. This union joins their energies to mix results depending on the planets involved. So, plagues, pandemics, shout out to King Simon in the building. Okay. I'm even gonna have King Simon get with the numbers and stuff. Plagues, pandemics, and Jupiter-Pluto conjunction in history, what astrology reveals. Is there a cosmic connection between Jupiter-Pluto conjunctions and viral outbreaks? History reveals a surprising trend. Throughout history, many of the biggest plagues and pandemics have coincided with a conjunction. These are meetups between global Jupiter, the planet of expansion and knowledge, and shadowy Pluto, which rules all things hidden and buried. On April 4th, Jupiter and Pluto will make their first of 3 conjunctions in Capricorn. And astrology speaks. La, 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 la. The 3/20/20 Jupiter-Pluto conjunctions will be at April 4th, June 30th, and right before my birthday, November 12th. Jupiter has been traveling in proximity to Saturn, Pluto, and the South Node all year, but in April, the first official convergence arrives. In Capricorn, the sign of government, structures, and the economy, this planetary alliance is already revealing its footprint. It started with a January 12, 2020 Saturn-Pluto conjunction that may now unfurl another chapter of its saga. So you know that they're saying phase 2 of phase 2, right, of the corona is basically the second alignment of the planets, because the first alignment was in January, right? The first alignment was in January, but the second alignment, like they said in the article, was in April 4th. Now, that's around the same time that President Trump and them started talking about phase 2, or Bill Gates, for that matter, started talking about pandemic 2, because there's pandemic 1. Now they're talking about pandemic 2. So pandemic 2, coincidentally, is coming around the same time that these 2 planets of death are aligning, right? The same time that there's an alignment with these planets, do we see, you know, the quote unquote, let me finish this. So it started with the January 12th Saturn-Pluto conjunction that may now unfurl another chapter of the saga. Supersized Jupiter, the planet of global connections, expands whatever it touches. In Roman mythology, Jupiter, Zeus, is the god of all gods, the ruler of the sky and thunder. In mythology, Pluto, or Hades, Greek, was the god of the underworld. Astrological lore contends that Pluto rules all things hidden, from viruses to government conspiracies. This shadowy sign governs death, rebirth, and transformation that rises from the ashes. That rises from the ashes. So what did that just say? That said everything right there. It said that Pluto, first of all, before anything, you have to go and watch Clash of the Titans. Because the Clash of the Titans, the reboot was about Hades versus Zeus. It was about Pluto and Jupiter. That was one of the arcs of the story. If anybody saw it, give me a 1. So Jupiter, right? Jupiter, supersized Jupiter, big everything, big pharma, big oil, big data, big beef, big pork, big brother, right? The planet of global connections expand whatever it touches. In Roman, or in mythology, it rules. This is Pluto that we're talking about, right? We're in a Pluto retrograde as we speak right now. We're going to touch on that in a minute as well, but we're talking about Pluto. Pluto rules viruses and government conspiracies. What is the talk in all barbershops or all chat rooms everywhere right now? Is it not? Is it not? I think the solstice landing on Father's Day with an eclipse is a day that we all should be gathered somewhere doing something extremely powerful. That's what I think about that day. I think that they created that day. I think the ancestors are creating these alignments, or these alignments are being created, or these alignments have created themselves. And that the people who know about these alignments, it's their duty to take advantage of that, because you're going to be held accountable for what you know, not for what you don't know. Right? Pluto is the black sheep of the galaxy. Exactly. So we're in Pluto retro right now. We're in Pluto retro. Yeah, they're selling acres on Mars. They already colonized it. They already colonized it. But it just so happens that Jupiter is conspiracy theory and viruses. And we're in that time right now where conspiracy theories, I mean, god damn it, even the hood niggas know about conspiracy theories. Like, that's the shit right now. Everybody is like, tell me more. Tell me about 5G. Tell me about Bill Gates. Tell me about pizza this, pizza that. Tell me about Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton. Tell us about Harvey Weinstein. Tell us about Jeff Epstein. And what the Harvey Weinstein, Jeff Epstein thing did is it completely shattered the glass ceiling that the quote unquote Hollywood elites and the Hollywood sadomasochistic, spirit cookers their secret wasn't that safe, because they were beginning to let a lot of niggas around. So it wasn't that safe, it was fragile. But the apocalypse that we're in the throes of, the apocalypse simply means the awakening. Hold on, let me show you real quick. I don't want to venture off of topic, but I find that it's, find it responsible. I had this in a lecture on Saturday. Shout out to all of the students that pulled up in the lecture that we did at midnight. Started it on midnight. It's Saturday night. So we, the family don't have no parties to go to. So we had a lecture party. Right? We had a lecture party. And it was lit. It was lit. We had fun. For all for all of the students that pulled up, you're waiting for the replay of the video, as I am too, because I'm trying to get into contact with Zoom to find out where the file is at. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know where the file is at. They didn't send the file to me after I finished class. We had about 4.5 hours of information. And this is, remember, I lost my whole keynote before my lecture even started. The shit erased right there on the computer. You know when the motherfucking ball of death starts spinning, and it clipped my damn lecture. It took my whole lecture from me. Then I went and did the lecture out the folder that I had of my notes. And then when I finished the lecture and I was downloading it, the spot that I was at, it was 5 a.m, mind you. And the spot where I was at, I was like, you know what? Let me get up out of here and let me let them close down because, you know, these are grown men that got to go home to their children and their wives and whatnot. So I shut the computer down and, you know, I indicated, I said that it said that the file would download later on, but bro, I don't know. You heard Zoom was on some white supremacy stuff? Shit. Well, that ain't good. You know, that ain't good. But this is what I'm proposing. That all's well that ends well. There's nothing whatsoever to worry about. We got this. We're gonna figure this, you know. So as soon as the file comes, I'll definitely shoot it out. Thank you everybody for just responding so last minute because remember, we jumped ahead of ourselves and we were like, yo, we doing this shit every week. I don't know if I could do that. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. We might have to stretch that shit for 2 weeks because every week, you know, the way the time is going right now with this new shit, whatever happened, and it did whatever it's doing to time, just time is not fair right now. So to commit to that is a lot. Y'all don't know how much time goes into these lectures. But the apocalypse is the complete final destruction of the world, as described in the biblical book of Revelation. Henceforth, they had to attach as described in the biblical book because that is not the quote-unquote definition of apocalypse. That's not the original definition of apocalypse. Apocalypse means apocalypse is a Greek word meaning revelation, an unveiling or unfolding of things not previously known and which could not be known apart from the unveiling. So apocalyptic literature, but apocalypse, right? Because they're gonna try to hide the original meaning from you because when people started taking the Bible, they were quote unquote pushing this narrative the same way that they push the narrative of hell through Dante's Inferno and all of these things, and the same way that they took the black man and they turned him into the devil through Baphomet and all of these other things. They took the apocalypse and they flipped it and they made it to be something scary because what's scary is when we find out the truth about who the fuck these people are. That's their apocalypse. When the Great Awakening, who the fuck is going to awaken? Is it white people waking up? Look at my face. Is it white people waking up? Who waking up? Because the apocalypse said the great revealing. Are they gonna what? Are they reveal that they come from a fucking troglodyte? Who's waking up? Who's waking up? Who's sleepy in these streets? Who got bags in their eyes? Let me know. Is Mr. Charlie asleep? Huh? Does he not know that he comes from a fucking chip? If you get in too deep, oh yeah, I'm not even promoting myself. What am I thinking? Hold on. Astaghfirullah. And it's fucking Ramadan. Baby's gotta eat. You know what I mean? I'm eating once a day. Yeah, let's get the cash app going, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Get the Netflix up there. Make sure y'all go to Netflix, y'all. Right? Make sure y'all go and support Netflix. Real quick, commercial time. Movie. Who want to be in a movie? That's Netflix. Who want to be in a movie? Movie. We got our own channel, baby. You know, we don't got to worry about YouTube. They not bothering us no more. We don't care about YouTube. We got our own shit. You dig? Netflix. Hey. So yeah, man. If you want to get the Into Deep lecture, just send your email and then dub to the Cash App. You know, all of my Netflix subscribers, you will have access, especially if you're on the top tier, which is the purple tier. I believe that's $44 a month. You'll have access to the library of me and Blue Pill's lectures, our library of multiple lectures. And as the Netflix platform expands, we're going to open it up to content creators. One of the first content creators that we're going to open our platform up to, and he'll have his own channel, is our good brother Crumb TV. Shout out to Crumb TV. I even got to play the video that we did about Charlemagne, because I know that everybody didn't see that. So, you know, we're going to have to play that video maybe at the end of this lecture tonight. We're going to throw that Charlemagne video up there and, you know, let that thing do what it do. And I want people to understand why that video was made. I want to be very clear about why that video was made. That video was made because we live in apocalypse. That's why that video was made. That video was made because we live in an apocalyptic time, and it's time to tell the truth about what the fuck is going on. And the truth about what's going on is that there's a you know, there's a whole bunch of people, you know, out of line and out of pocket and out of their fucking lane, and sometimes out of their minds. The line is drawn. The line is drawn. You understand? Yeah, you hear that, Sonic? The line is drawn. When I go on a Breakfast Club, no, that's not my aspirations to go on a motherfucking Breakfast Club or Vlad TV or any one of their goddamn janky ass platforms to do what? To do what? To talk to niggas who knew who the fuck I was before I got up there, but wouldn't acknowledge me because I wasn't until I got on the Breakfast Club, to invite a whole bunch of dick riders on my side? I don't think so. My quality of membership, the people who I got watching me, I'm gonna just stick with them because they gotten me far. You know what I mean? And they hold me accountable and they keep me lit. If I were to commercialize and spread myself into these commercial areas, I would basically, you know, I would be introduced to a crowd or audience that they don't know my story. They don't know my mother. They don't know who I am. They didn't watch me grow up. They didn't watch me, they didn't watch me transform. They won't even know who the fuck KT is. You know what I'm saying? And then you invite all of these trolls and whatnot, and then you invite knuckle draggers into your business. Like, to be honest with you, I don't have no aspirations because, to be honest with you, they do their thing and I gave them their flowers. And now the fucking roses are dead. I gave them their flowers for what they did contribution-wise as the big homie. As a journalist, I gave them their flowers. I was like, yeah, they're doing a lot of work for the community. And then the brother went and took that shit to his head. And he tried to weaponize his newly found woke status. And then he and then I see a whole bunch of other people running around and they're masquerading and they're preparing themselves to fleece the sheep once again. The charlatans. Fucking P. Diddy had a goddamn Health is Wealth conference sponsored by Ciroc. You know, they're in this bitch jacking right now. They've been jacking, but it looks like they're coming up in this bitch to really. It's almost like in the Matrix when Cypher, bird ass Cypher, whole ass cipher wanted to eat some steak. That you know, he was tired. He was tired of eating quinoa. He was tired of eating kale salad. Yeah, she really is Mama Pill Reborn. You know, he was tired of eating healthy and he wanted to eat some steak. He didn't want to eat the slop no more. He didn't want to wear the burlap. He was tired of wearing Kings County. He was tired of wearing clothes like athletics. He was tired of wearing, you know, black-owned brands. So he wanted some designer. That nigga wanted to wear some tight clothes. He wanted to pop tags and shit. You know what I'm talking about? You know, he wanted to wear Roman brands. He wanted to be branded by the Romans. He wanted to feel some Roman cloth. He wanted to look like he was in Rome doing as the Romans do, like these niggas who aspire to be Romans do. You know what I mean? They line up with the Chichi man because you are what you wear. Real talk. I remember when I was wearing European brands, foreign brands, I was acting foreign. You know, some of my weakest moments was in Versace, my nigga. Real talk. So when Cypher sold out the Matrix to eat a piece of steak, he let who? He let Agent Smith into Zion. He let Agent Smith into Zion. There was a trade-off. So whenever these niggas go on Vlad TV, nigga, there's a trade-off. Whenever you go on the Breakfast Club, nigga, there's a trade-off. That's some Cypher shit. Whenever you go on these corporate sponsored fucking platforms, all of these niggas who be up there buffoonery, nigga, that could be that. You could get up there, because if I get up there, I'm not making nobody feel comfortable. I'm not making nobody, that's not my job to get up there and hee ha ha with nobody. I'm not doing that. It's a marketplace. The Breakfast Club is where you go to sell shit. How about that? Because you're gonna pay money to get up there anyway. You don't get up there for free. It's payola involved. You gotta cut a check. So you go up there to sell shit. And it's an elevator pitch to a humongous consumer base of knuckle draggers who is fucking slop. They'll buy anything. They'll buy anything. They don't know it's the 85ers. You know that you're going to pitch to the 85ers. Bottom line, you know that you're going to sell to the niggas that are wearing sneakers with a matching do-rag and a motherfucking possibly nails to match the sneakers. You know that that's the audience. And they're not on your quote unquote, they're not on your mental level. They cannot, you can run circles around them. Anybody who went on the Breakfast Club who has one iota of consciousness knows that, you know, and this is no offense to the audience, but you know your audiences. You know that audience is a susceptible audience. You don't have to go deep on that audience. You drop elementary crumbs on them niggas and they start, oh, it's like catfish. They'll eat anything that you put in the water because they are so starved of information. They never heard no shit like that where they live in fucking Tuscaloosa or wherever they at. And then they tuned into Clear Channel. They're talking, they talking about dick and pussy all day on the radio and trapping. They don't know what they can hear somebody get up there and say Seymour. They're like, oh, what's going on? So when you go on these platforms, you have to understand that you're bringing quality membership with you. These are people that probably never saw these shows a day in their life. They don't even know who Vlad is. They never heard of Vlad. They're not exposed to his toxicity because I'm toxic. Well, not no more. I kind of, you know, I've been healing myself. Can you see my skin is glowing? Is my shit getting better? But when I was in the Bronx, I was toxic, bro. I can admit that. When my fucking hair, you niggas was letting me walking around with my hair looking like that. And I'm watching Vlad TV. I'm watching the world star niggas getting knocked out and beat up and stomped out and spit on, and women degrading themselves and showing the lowest fucking energy. So they're having the lowest energy output of a human being on these platforms. That's toxicity, bro. That's toxicity. You're not supposed to be exposed to that. Nigga, that's Bird Box. You're not supposed to watch shit like that all the time. I'm watching, and I was praising shit like that. I'm watching Vlad, niggas talking about how many niggas they killed. I'm like, yeah. This is but remember, this is in the Scorpio hibernation season. I don't eat meat, so I gotta eat some death. You know what I mean? Look, niggas. Nah, it wasn't trash. Don't go there. It just was looking crazy. Now that my shit is late, I'm like, come on now. What are we doing? You niggas wanted me to have the no, I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. We're getting shape up during the motherfucking quarantine. How about that? Like a grown man should do. How dare you niggas not be able to get a shape up during the quarantine, as if you niggas wasn't teenagers before. You didn't have a homeboy to cut hair in the fucking living room while y'all play video games and smoke weed? You couldn't activate that nigga? How many niggas is around you on parole that know how to cut? Nigga, you couldn't get a shape up in the hood? You not lit. You know what I'm talking about? How the hell DJ Khaled looking like that? How? 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 You couldn't get a nigga in an Uber to cut your hair? Somebody said that I blocked him. If I blocked you, you must have asked to be at the block party. I don't block niggas. If I blocked you, you was out of line, nigga, and I gave you I teleported you to the block party. Like Dr. Manhattan be sending niggas to other galaxies. You know what I'm talking about? You know? I be repelling you niggas. I'm not, I'm magnetic to a certain kind of energy, but if you get on my bad side, I'm going to repel you. I'm going to push you off the fucking cliff, and I'm going to put you in a block party. So if I blocked you, it's for a reason. You know what I'm talking about? That's it. It's as plain and simple as that. And there's no love lost and there's no offense. But I'm not a nice nigga. Like, I'm not your friend. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not here to play with you niggas. Real talk. I'm not here to play with nobody. Because niggas is not here to play with me. Nobody's here to play with no one. We all grown in this thing. And I'm not about to let nobody feel like they all familiar with me because you see me on YouTube. You can just talk to me because I haven't made my page private. And you know that's not what this is. That's not what this is. You know what I'm talking about? You are not gonna try to you're not gonna rock me to sleep. You niggas is not gonna try to tree hug me to death. No, nigga, I'm in the trenches every day. Real talk. I'm in the fucking trenches, bro. You know what I'm talking about? I'm walking with all swords out. Like, nigga, I know where I'm at. I know that this is a war going on. Yeah. Yeah, the quarantine. Back to the quarantine shape up. You gotta get your shit done, man. You gotta get your thing. You gotta be able to lace you up. You know, this is your first line of defense. You know what I'm saying? This is your first line. What, we don't have MAC makeup. We don't have hair hats, my nigga. You gotta get your shit laced. You gotta get it laced. You know? Yeah, but, I can't help it because, like, I just read about the alignment. There's an alignment here. This Pluto is in this thing. Like, Pluto. Yeah, they do forget. They forget that it's twin. I'll jump out the hat like the WB frog. Nigga, it's still twin. It's Red Pill on YouTube, my guy, but it's still twin. You know, Boozy Badass was born on my birthday. Boozy Badass. You know what I'm talking about? And Prince Charles. So I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying, you know, I got potential to be a little, you know, go a little left on you niggas. There was a video that I put on my Instagram page about Boozy, and it just shows how the ancestors are at work. Let them work. Don't stop them. They're working. It's a movie. You just don't know that you're seeing it. Like, to show you how my Doc Kermit, my doppelganger, is working, he put a video out saying that he ran out of insulin. You know, little Boozy diabetic. Episode 2 is coming soon. And I don't care about, somebody asked me about people going on the Breakfast Club. That don't got nothing to do with me. Like I said, if that's what you do, then you do it. And you could go and sell what you're selling. And to be honest with you, up until like a month ago, if they would have offered me to go up there, I would have ran up there. You know what I'm talking about? I'd have ran up there. But after seeing what they started doing when the 5G shit hit, and then just sitting back during the coronavirus outbreak and seeing how these platforms were in alignment with the same people who were trying to get at us, like Dr. Fauci and Bill Gates, and how you know, whatchamacallit, and how they weren't questioning these people, and they were utilizing a lot of corporate sponsored talking points. They were parakeeting the WHO's talking points. So they were in alignment. They were in alignment willfully with the enemy of the people, yo. That's serious, man. At the time, in times like this, and then when they went ahead and hijacked, you know, they went and hijacked the quote unquote platform of healing with Revolt TV's Health is Wealth Summit, where they brought Jaden Smith, Styles P. Shout out to Styles P. He deserves to be up there because he's doing, hold on, let's just go and see it. But let's go and talk about the times that we're in. I don't want to lose you. Let's talk about the times that we're in. Let's talk about the Kairos time real quick. Let's talk about the moment we're in and why I'm going so hard like this, because I know that this is the moment that we've all been waiting for. Let's talk about the Kairos moment. It's an ancient Greek word meaning the right, critical, or opportune moment. The ancient Greeks had two words for time, chronos and kairos. What is Chronos' other name? That's Saturn. Saturn is Chronos. Okay, Saturn is Chronos. So during this time where Saturn is definitely here doing what it's doing, this is the Chronos time. This is the perfect opportunity time. This formula refers to chronological or sequential time. What? Okay. So this is a Kairos moment, arriving at God's set time. I was even thinking about naming my son Kairos, you know, or Chiron for that matter, you know. And then I didn't even. Let me show you. They got the Corona. Okay. Nah, I don't like this story. Can't just be reading any old thing, you know. Let's go back to this one though. Hold on. Let's leave that alone. Because I don't want to just bring anybody's information on my show. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? There's a European that I'm about to bring on the show. I took a vote during my lecture and they said bring him on. I'm gonna show you a clip of him before this show is over. All right, Jupiter Pluto conjunctions in mythology. Heaven meets hell. Right? Supersized Jupiter, the planet of global connections, expands da 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 da. In mythology, Pluto was the god of the underworld. Astrological lore contends that Pluto rules all things hidden. This is Osiris. This is Asar. From viruses to government conspiracy, this shadowy sign governs death, rebirth, and transformation. It rises from the ashes. So the transformation is rising from the ashes. If there's a new economy, the transformation is rising from this ashes. Is that the children have a new way of learning. The transformation is rising from these ashes. Is that there's new businesses being created every single day. There are multiple Black people creating businesses, multiple people of all colors. There's people with they got tax checks, they got unemployment checks, and they got the stimulus checks. Niggas got bread in these streets. So people are buying new things. They're taking their time. They're ordering things on Amazon. They're becoming income streams. They're taking their money and they're flipping it. They're buying bundles. I mean, people are becoming industrious. So that there is that energy that is there. Okay. And Black America and quote unquote the people for that matter, they are also rising from the ashes because they are beginning to change for the better. New versions of people are emerging. Old people are shedding their older skins, similar to what the woke people are trying to do. They're like, you know what? I'm brother love. Be one love. You know, that's in alignment. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Fear not, it is okay, my friend. It is okay. It is okay. Everything is okay. It's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go on Twitch. I think I'm gonna start twitching this week. I went ahead and got me some software. I might start twitching this week. Pluto represents Hades, was hidden in Scorpio. It also represents the story of Anubis as the guide between the two realms. So a Jupiter conjunction could represent a transition into the benevolence and higher erudition of Jupiter. And that's definitely what's happening. If you pay attention, that's definitely what you see taking place. This is all in alignment with the alignment. There's nothing to be worried about. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to be all none of that. You're gonna waste energy that you could have preserved to create some things. You just gotta create. Get you a journal. I got a journal. Get you some paint. You know what I'm saying? If you're a painter, get you a tablet. If you're a writer, and create. Make a journal of everything that's going on during these times, because these times are going to be spoken of 100 years from now until the next event takes place. It's time, these times are going to be focused on. Perhaps pandemic is our purgatory, the midpoint between the two realms. Did I not say that? During a Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, heaven and hell essentially come together. So when the ancestors made transition, and the ones who were making transition, Minister Hafiz, Nation of Islam Youth Minister, Temple Mosque number 7, Baba Kalindi, who deals with the inner space. He deals with the mushrooms. He deals with martial arts. He deals with protection, security, warriorship, warriorhood. He's making transition. And the same day he made transition, 3 master teachers made transition with him as well. That were in the karate, in the martial arts world. Brother Monk off of 2/5, he makes transition. Bill Withers, he makes transition. Dr. Africa, he makes transition. Credo Mutwa, he makes transition. So when I seen that, Credo Mutwa is dealing with, they just made, hold on, nigga, they just made a revelation of aliens today. Hold on. This is all part of the alignment. Let me finish reading this, and I'm going to show you that they revealed the aliens today. That's all Credo Mutwa. And then, in order to heal from the corona, you got to get in the sun, and you got to get all of this stuff and that health stuff. That's Dr. Africa. So the ancestors who are ascending have left behind a treasure trove of information, right? A treasure trove of information. Yeah, it was 2 years ago, but what I'm saying is, yes. What y'all don't understand is that it's coming out now, right? It's an old video regardless. Why did it drop today? Why did it drop today? Yeah, Dr. Africa made transition. And unfortunately, the community talked about it for one day, and then they didn't talk about it anymore. So if you wasn't around that one day, if you was off the grid that one day, then you probably wouldn't have known that Dr. Africa is an ancestor now, because nobody is talking about that. Somebody said Credo went up to meet with the aliens. The fact that Credo, the fact that Africa, the fact that Kalindi, the fact that Hafiz Muhammad, all of these masters are making ascension, I'm like, fam, there's something going on. There's something going on. Maybe that wheel, that Ezekiel's wheel, is here. You ever, maybe that because the red and blue Kachina was already seen. The two stars have been seen. The red and blue Kachina have been seen. Jupiter conjunctions occur every 13 years. These two planets last connected in Sagittarius mid-December 07. While not every meetup is quite this eventful, some of history's most devastating plagues indeed correlated with Jupiter-Pluto conjunctions. The cautiously optimistic news: a couple of those plagues also peaked during these transits and simmered down after Jupiter and Pluto parted ways, with grim headlines about rising infection rates and shortages of medical equipment and protective gear. It's hard to hold on to hope. What history has shown us during past astrological cycles, when Jupiter and Pluto were side by side as a pandemic broke out. So in 1918, Jupiter and Pluto is in Cancer, and it's the flu pandemic. We're talking about 50 million deaths. 50 million deaths, right? Because people are leaving it on the ground talking about the electricity and the 5G, and I'm cool with that. I like that conversation. But what we need to do is elevate the conversation into the cosmos. So coincidentally, right? Just coincidentally, in 1918, when Jupiter and Pluto were in Cancer, in January and February, Jupiter and Pluto were traveling together in Cancer, the zodiac signs that rules the U.S. The flu pandemic, which was called the Spanish flu, broke out in the breadbasket of the U.S., which was in Kansas. The flu broke out in Kansas. Go and look it up. It infected an estimated 500 million people, 1/4 of the world's population, and it resulted in 50 million deaths. The Spanish flu was the first of two pandemics caused by the H1N1 influenza virus. The second was the swine flu in 2009. When the first case for swine flu was detected in early 2009, Jupiter and Pluto were briefly both in Capricorn, though not making a close connection. 1981 HIV outbreak. Jupiter and Pluto in Libra. In 1981, the HIV epidemic, which remains one of the world's largest pandemics, right? It's considered a pandemic. It arrived in the United States, spawning the AIDS crisis. Jupiter and Pluto made their exact meetup in Libra, the sign of relationships, in October and November 81, right? So AIDS is about relationships. AIDS were about the relationships of two men, mostly, because it broke out in a homosexual, the male-dominated white LGBT communities at first. Shortly after the next Jupiter-Pluto conjunction on December the 2nd, 94, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved the oral HIV test, the first non-blood-based antibody test for HIV. This conjunction took place in Scorpio, which rules the sexual organs. By 95, complications from AIDS was the leading cause of death for adults 25 to 44. Russian plague of 1771. Jupiter and Pluto in Capricorn. From 70 to 72, the Russian plague, also known as the plague of 1771, was the last huge outbreak from the bubonic plague, resulting in between 50,000 and 100,000 lost lives in Moscow. In December 1770, Moscow General Hospital's chief physician, Dr. Shanovsky, reported a case of the bubonic plague. but public health officials, particularly a German doctor named Render, were at first skeptical and dismissive. The Black Death of the 14th century Europe, Jupiter and Pluto in motherfucking Aries. From 1346 to 1353, the Black Death swept across Europe. Approximately 50 million people. At that time, 60% of Europe's population died from the bubonic plague, an infection that circulates among rats. As the rat population started to dwindle from the disease, their fleas began biting humans and infecting them as well. As the plague reached its peak in 1347, the Pluto conjunction was in Aries. In 1346, Jupiter pivoted between Aquarius and Pisces, as it will again in 2021. Then the plague of Athens, Pluto and Capricorn, right? It killed 75,000 to 100,000 people. Okay? How 2020 Jupiter-Pluto conjunctions could play out. Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, possibility 1. Global Jupiter expands, magnifies, and spreads. Pluto governs the invisible realm and anything hidden in the shadows like viruses. It is also the ruler of death. On this date, we could see a spike in COVID-19 cases in areas that haven't been hard hit. Right? This is on April 4th. Jupiter-Pluto conjunction possibility 2. Remember, on this day, they did the mass meditation, right? On 4/4, they did the meditation. They did the world meditation, the quantum mind meditation on 4/4. So let's read the conjunction possibilities. Optimistic Jupiter exposes what's hidden, uplifts us, and gives hope. We may hear a surge of positive information, such as progress towards a vaccine, deliveries of medical supplies to healthcare workers, or the reopening of certain small businesses. Jupiter rules entrepreneurs. However, we guard against overconfidence, a temptation of Jupiter. At their second alignment on June 30th, both Jupiter and Pluto will be in power down retrograde. Inner planet retrogrades. Mercury, Venus, Mars have a reputation for creating chaos. But when the slow-moving outer planets turn retrograde, it can actually bring improvements. We get a break from whatever they govern, and we can certainly use a reprieve from Jupiter's wildfire growth and Pluto's shadowy hand, right? So that's in June. Okay? And in late June, we got some things going on. So as we can see, once again, there's proof that this thing right here is, hold on. Yeah, I'm on my live. I'll call you back, Melanin Monday. So let's read some of the things that are taking place right now. Matter of fact, let's go to this brother's page and go see it. All right, let's all read it together. All right. This is Big U. Right? Big U said, traffic is gone. Right? Gas is affordable. Bills are extended, right? You see the gas fell to prices that, man, oh man, you could take a cross-country trip on like $80. Traffic, you could zoom through down the highway and get to wherever you gotta go. You don't gotta wait in gridlock. You don't have to sit around. You could just keep it moving. You could do a $180 on the highway. Nobody's in your way. Kids are at home with their families. There's reports coming out. There's reports coming out that these children are not going back to school once they decide that they're going to allow these children to go back. There are reports upon reports upon reports where they're not going back. They're like, I'm not going back. Homeschooling is becoming very successful for parents who have adjusted to it, rightfully so, right? It might be challenging for others, but the parents who have these children who are learning more at home, more through the quote unquote online academies such as LinkedIn Learning, Udemy, Khan Academy, KTL University, and the app that's going to be rolled out for KTL Media and University. Like, there are so many things that are going on positively around the world in this very day and time right now as a result of this shift that has taken place. This shift is a positive. There's pros and cons to everything, but at the perfect balance in the middle of it all is that Kairos moment, that window of opportunity that you can grab it and you can own it and you can make something of it to prepare you and to push you forward into the future for the next 100 years. That's what we're in right now. And I'm not here, look, the game is to be sold, and I'm not here to sell you a goddamn thing. I'm here to tell you what the fuck this shit is. And I'm saying that some of us will get it and some of us won't. But if one of us gets it, if one of us breaks through and make a breakthrough and tap into the possibilities that exist, into this quantum, the probabilities, the possibilities, the potentiality of what this fucking time is, then I've done my job. You know what I'm talking about? Then I've done my job. Fast food has been replaced by cooked meals, home cooked meals. People are sitting at the table eating home cooked meals, even though they still got some of the fast food, Murder King, White Casket, all of these, Taco Hell, they still open, yeah. But people are not that fast to go run outside to eat some food that somebody put their hands on and prepared that they don't know. So they staying their ass home and they're eating real food. Hectic schedules are replaced by nap, rest, and relaxation. I'm looking at people on their lives. They're looking relaxed. I'm seeing certain people, maybe not the niggas with shape-ups, but I'm seeing certain people and they're looking cool. And they're not looking like they're a part of the rat race. They're looking like they're breathing. The air seems cleaner. I've been in the park. I've been outside. Air is definitely cleaner. The world is a bit quieter. Do you know how peaceful it feels to walk down the street and it's just you? Do you know how peaceful it felt walking down Times Square and the shit felt like the beginning of Vanilla Sky? It was just me and the signs. I was able to think better. I felt bigger than I was. People are more conscious about hygiene and health. Niggas is washing their hands. It ain't that much ass eating taking place right now. People are cutting their nails. They're grooming themselves. You feel what I'm saying? People are real hot about health. Man, health is big right now. Everybody's on the sea moss wave. Everybody's an elderberried out. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody's want to drink them some clean water and some gold. They want liquid silver, liquid gold. Mine even talking about wearing copper and shit like that. These are some interesting times. These are some interesting times. Health is really wealth. You got P. Diddy running around talking about health is wealth. Take that, take that. Money doesn't seem to make the world go around anymore. Take that, take that. Cash don't rule everything around me anymore. That spell got broken. Shout out to the RZA. You feel me? Cash don't rule everything around me no more. It's your mother and your father's health. That's what rules everything around me. The health of the happiness of the children, they rule. Being essential rules everything around me. Being immune rules everything around me. That's the only fuck money. I'm making more money right now than I made in a very long time. And I'm not even in the healthcare. I'm not even in the health business. But you know, I'm 10 toes down. That Forex is really doing something. You know what I'm saying? It's really jumping. We'll be back on Wednesday to do a Ashy to Classy from Ashy, Ash Wednesday show. You know, we're gonna bring some receipts. Remember that show? Ashy to Classy Wednesdays? Well, we're doing an Ashy to Classy Wednesday this Wednesday. So we could do a little bit of we could share some good news, because if it's not good news if you're a hater. And if you don't want to see niggas winning, then this is not good news. You know, this is not good news. But if you here to celebrate people doing good in life, and if you here to celebrate brothers coming together to make shit happen instead of procrastinating and coming up with excuses and coming up with every reason to be a fucking vagabond, if you with the opposite of that, if you tired of these poor righteous teachers dancing in your videos and, you know, taking hogging the spotlight, yeah, come over here to the nojobLifestyle.info/red pill, my nigga. Yeah, we over here eating at Whole Foods. You know what I'm talking about? We're not doing all these no more. You know? And that's just an income stream. So I'm encouraging everybody to get into multiple, at least five. Dig you 5 streams of 7 days in a week. You take 2 days to rest. 5 income streams. You can do it. You can do it. And if you need help, then I do consultations, $200 an hour. If you want to start your business and do what you need to do, you could come and build with me. And I'm not available every day, all day either. There's a slot. There's slots. But we could talk about this. You know, because we're here to help each other. I received help. I paid for consultations. I paid forward. You know what I mean? I invested in myself. I invested in this platform. I spent about $1,000 last week on equipment. I can show you the receipts, but I don't want you all in my business. You know what I'm talking about? But you'll see the improvement. You'll see it through the results. But look, doctors and nurses are being praised and recognized instead of athletes and celebrities. Shout out to Mama Pill, one of the most important Black people on the planet right now, because there's 2 people alive that cured AIDS. One of them's name is Ma'a Bowman, and the other one's name is Annette Thomas, aka Mama Pill. And the third person is an ancestor. His name is Alfredo Bowman, aka Dr. Sabi. So you cannot leave out the mothers. You cannot leave out the divine feminine. You cannot leave out the other 2 people who were co-defendants in that Supreme Court case. And these are the 3 healers of AIDS. It's not one healer of AIDS. There's 3 healers of AIDS. That's Sister Annette Thomas, Ma'a, right? Ma'a and Mama Pill. Yes, and it's definitely $200 an hour, because when I show you my rap sheet, when I show you my quote unquote resume of all of the projects that I've been behind, the brothers from different platforms who I helped put together $100,000 projects and more, then it will justify definitely $200 an hour. My students are charging $100 an hour. So how the hell? Let me. You need to see my face when I say this. My students, people that I've taught over the years with the cloth, they doing $100 an hour. So how the hell is the teacher gonna charge the same amount as the student? You know what I'm saying? This is premium. This is a premium. This is not for anybody or everybody. This is premium. I'm gonna give you expensive information that's gonna transform you and whatever it is that you're doing, and that's a fact. So, yeah, it's 200 now, and that goes back to the initial conversation about the promoters. Let me share something with you, and this is a problem that I'm having with some promoters. You know, and at the end of the day, you know, all respect to the promoters for what y'all been doing over the years and for what y'all bring to the table, because to be honest with you, you are a cog in a machine, and you are one of the reasons why many of the lectures exist. There's historical production promoter companies in our community that deserve to be highlighted, like Third Eye Productions, Brother Shabazz. He is responsible for about 80% of a lecture that you see in LIU, which is Long Island University. Whenever you see a video in LIU, that's a way of identifying the golden era of consciousness, because that was the golden era of consciousness when the videos were being done in LIU in Brooklyn, Third Eye Productions. If you ever watch a lecture and it starts with Third Eye Production as it opens up, then you're in for a treat. All right. Shout out to Occult Lectures. That's Brother Panic's platform. He has done some works with Aleem and other people. Shout out to Black Magic. He does production. Shout out to Sinetta. He does production, promoting. I mean, these are promoters. They bring people in. So if you see content, shout out to King Simon. He's one of the most well-known promoters. He brings people in. So he's responsible for creating some of the most historical and monumental lectures that we've seen in our community in the mostly modern day times, because he's mostly polite. When you think about King Simon, you think that's polite. You know what I mean? He's the one who pushed polite. He's the promoter behind that. And he also pushed a lot of things. He brought Dr. Savy back into the community. Okay. He was pushing Phil Valentine out there. He was pushing a lot of other people. And even with the polite lectures, he always had a master teacher, you know, one of the master teachers there to basically, it was like a co-signing. So Phil Valentine, Ashra Kwesi, all of these master teachers, right? And one of the things that I would like the people to know, if you didn't know this, but when it comes to the honorarium of the lecturer, I don't know if the promoters realize that that is not the most important aspect of the lecture, bar none, at all. Because that's bill money. That shit, you know, when you get your honorarium, that's going to go right to a bill. Chances. You'll never see that money. That's not the most important part of the lecture, bar none. That might be the third part of the lecture that's the most important. The two most important things that mean anything is the two most important parts that the majority of the promoters that I've worked with have gotten wrong. Okay, I can't speak for nobody else. I could only speak about my experiences. So I feel in hindsight that I've been ripped off. I feel in hindsight that I've been jankified by janky promoters. I feel in hindsight that I've been robbed of what is the most important, and that's my intellectual property. So the most important thing in any lecture that a promoter does is your motherfucking footage. There's nothing else more important than your motherfucking footage. Because without your motherfucking footage, the goddamn lecture never fucking took place. Okay? So the footage is the most important aspect, your intellectual property. You want to go up in that bitch and lay down some shit and then leave with your motherfucking footage, because that is going to last longer than that flimsy ass honorarium that only pays your fucking light bills and a goddamn trip to Whole Foods most of the time. Right? And it's no offense, because you don't have to apologize to the promoters if you're the motherfucker who makes the promoter money. Right? Because you're the draw. As the talent, nigga, you're the draw. You are the money. It's not the promoter. Nobody's paying to see the fucking promoter. Okay? No offense to the promoter. But if niggas was paying $20 to come and see you, you'd be doing your own fucking shows. Nobody's coming to see you. They're coming to see the fucking talent. That's who they're paying $20 for. And you are in the middle. And your fucking job, my friend, is to give up the goddamn emails and the fucking footage. Number one and number two of the most important things. And what they fucking do, the janky ones, is these niggas will just give you a bag. They'll give you a fucking check, or they'll give you some money, but they'll take the most important parts. And that's your fucking emails. The people did not come to see your bum ass. Give me my fucking emails, okay? Give me my email list. And you know who I'm talking to. Niggas be hijacking email lists. So this is what the promoters was doing over the years. You bum ass niggas. They were using the appeal of the teachers, paying them peanuts to come out into their city, almost like a magnet, to draw all of these people out. Then they draw the people out. The promoter gets all of the emails, either through Eventbrite or at the fucking door. The lecturer gets his measly ass envelope. 8 times out of the 10, he don't get. 8 times out of the 10, you're not leaving with your footage. They'll be like, I'll email it to you, or I'll send you that. Back when it was the DVDs, I'll send you a copy of the DVD. And then the most important part is the fact that you've drawn a bunch of people out of a city where usually the promoter may have never known these people, never will meet these people. And even if that promoter was like, yo, I brought these people out because I told them about it, that's cool. But you're supposed to share the email list, because that's the most important thing. I could reach out to people who saw me 10 years ago. You're stealing my prospects. You're stealing my leads. Exactly. And then what do they wind up doing? They wind up creating master email lists, and they're pitching to your fucking audience. They're pitching to your customers. They're pitching to the people who pay money to see you. And then they become their motherfucking clients. They become their customers. They start pitching everything. They selling them motherfucking Q-tips. They're selling them burlap cloths. They're selling them cloth diapers. They're selling them fucking chewing sticks. Anything that they could sell these niggas, they'll start soliciting your people on your motherfucking list who came to see you. Okay? And then a whole bunch of them is saving. It's almost like these tricky ass producers that'll be like, I lost your song in the studio. They didn't lose your song. They put that bitch in a vault, because when you die or when something happens to you, they're gonna pop out on eBay or motherfucking Sotheby's, Christie's or whatever, and sell your shit. That's the same thing these bird ass niggas will do. It'll be like, oh nah, Red, I don't got your footage. Oh nah, Red, we lost the camera. Oh nah, Red, the shit was corrupt. All of these excuses. I've been going through this shit for years, bro. And then these niggas will pop up with a snippet of you at your fucking wake. Oh, I found some footage on Red. I got an unreleased track. This nigga was going in. This is when his hair was wild. We got wild hair, period, Red. You know, they understand your value, and they know that they're undervaluing you. So The motherfucking thing is to undervalue a nigga, to Jew them down, and then take all of their value that you know is going to appreciate in value because you already know where these people are going, and then you just sit on their motherfucking intellectual property, and you're going to try to quote unquote vulture them. You're going to try to feed off of them. Back in the days when it was a DVD game, motherfucker, the promoters was selling the DVD on the side. They was out here and they was not feeding the lecturers. Henceforth, why you had a whole bunch of lecturers dying dead broke, because the DVDs were being sold, but the lecturer didn't get a dime off of that. And that's well documented. We know this. So the COVID-19 is it is a saving grace. Why? Because it cut all of that shit out. Now there is no middleman. I don't need to come to the city to see nobody. I'm not coming to your city. You know what I'm talking about? I'm in my kingdom. I'm sorry. You niggas come to my kingdom to see me in my kingdom. How the fuck I'm not the traveling king, nigga. I don't look the same in your city as I look in mine. But if you want to see me on the internet with the 1,000 other people around the world, all you gotta do is turn your phone on or tap in. I don't need nobody to put me in an Airbnb. I don't need nobody to pay for my fucking bus tickets, because niggas will put you on a China bus. I don't need nobody to put me on Spirit Airlines. I don't need none of that no more. I don't need your $1,000. I'm making that on my own. I wish a nigga would try to give me $1,000 to talk to you people. I'll smack fire out of him. I don't need none of that. I don't need you to take my email list and tell me that you're going to send it to me. No, nigga, I got my own emails. Motherfuckers, I'm trapping my own emails. I don't need nobody to tell me, oh, Red, you know, the money is short because shit is... No, nigga, no excuses. I make my own money now. So you promoters out there, the janky ones, can kiss my ass, bro. And don't ever fucking reach out to me, ever. Don't play yourself, because I will wash you. You know what I'm talking about? And if I ever find out that you are running around secretly with any footage of me, if you have a fucking snap of me, my nigga, if you have an Instagram story of me, give it up, nigga. Give up my content. I need all of my shit. Content is king, nigga. I need all of my shit. Anything with my face on it, I need that. I'm putting out a fatwa. If anybody leaks any footage of me on any channel and it wasn't approved by me, or if anything ever happens to me and niggas start coming out with unreleased red pills, those are the niggas that I'm talking about. And they not just doing it to me. They did it to a few people that I've seen over the years. They'll hide your lecture in a hard drive. You know what I mean? They'll bury your shit and put you in a fucking in a conscious museum later on down the line. These niggas is out here stealing artifacts. They want heirlooms. These niggas are stealing souvenirs from us, bro. Real talk. You think I'm playing? You think I'm playing? This shit is an abusive fucking community sometimes, yo. This is a very abusive. It's not good on your mentals, because you don't want... How you feel walking around somewhere where you putting on doing what these niggas can't do? If you could do it, they come and see you. No, I'm not saying that in no kind of way. I'm just saying, like, you out here putting on for the world, and you'll have these niggas robbing you, bro, standing next to you, taking pictures with you, but they got their hands in your pocket. They ripping you off. These niggas is out here vulturing. Real talk. And you know this. You know this. And somebody have to say something about that. You know, fuck out of here. So you niggas have been disrupted, and your services are no longer needed. Like that. I'm gonna book myself. If I pull up in a nigga state, nigga, I'm gonna handle my own business. I'm good at this point, because you niggas can't match my numbers. And if anybody want to ever put me in a documentary, nigga, you gotta come with your bands up. I'm not talking on nobody's documentary for fucking peanuts. Nigga, I'm lit. You know what I'm talking about? I know my worth. I know my worth. My mother cured AIDS. You niggas gotta cut the fucking check, man. Stop playing with me. Real talk. Because we know that you don't love us. You know what I'm saying? We know that these niggas don't, this community hates us. You know what I'm talking about? The community hates us. They won't say our name. They want us to go away. Because it's a competitive community. It's a competitive field, regardless of how you can't change. It's toxic. It's like if somebody, you know, it's like once you have the antibodies, you can't change that. Niggas came into this community measuring dick sizes. Niggas came into this community thinking that they could compete with us. Niggas came in this community thinking that that they had something called a debate, that these human beings could fucking stand in the same arenas as other human beings. That's the craziness. That's the craziness that individuals were introduced to consciousness through, thinking that you could debate a nigga and defeat somebody. So that's what we dealing with, y'all. I'm not holding no punches from none of these, because this is a hateful community, bro. This is a very hateful, demonic, toxic, sick fucking community. Hands down. This is a undervalued. They will devalue you. They will treat you like a fucking slave if you let them do it to you. They will treat you like a slave. They will treat you like a groveling Negro. And then them niggas will jump on Charlemagne and P. Diddy's lap and give them niggas sloppy toppy in front of everyone. That's the kind of vibe that this shit is on right now. These niggas is fanboys. These niggas are stands. They stand in P. Diddy, bro. They stand in Charlemagne the God, Van Jones, Van Lathan. These niggas is just stands. We are not the same. I can't be a part of this community like that. We're not the same, bro. These niggas is vagabonds. Real talk. I'm dead serious. They fucked up the whole shit because when you never saw Dr. Sebi take a picture with a celebrity looking like he was happy to be there. You never saw Dr. Sebi act like a fucking stan around any celebrities. And to be honest with you, nobody could fuck with Sebi. He was rolling with MJ. He had motherfucking Magic Johnson, you know, he was out there working with Magic Johnson and healing him and shit. You can see Dr. Sebi wasn't dick riding no celebrity. The celebrities had to give it up to Dr. Sebi because he demanded they respect him. You understand? He demanded that they respect him. If you ever been around Dr. Sebi, you know what I'm talking about. You did not feel like a celeb. If you were quote unquote what they called a celebrity, you didn't feel like one around Sebi. He would let you know that he was bigger than you. And that's what I saw growing up. You know? That's what I saw growing up. I saw him handle himself because he knew who he was. And that's not what I see with you dick riders. You bandwagon niggas in consciousness. Now, you've desecrated this shit. You made Charlemagne the God feel like he was your equal. You know what I'm talking about? You made these cornball niggas feel like they could sit with you, and they can't. They can't sit with me. They can't sit with my master teacher. They couldn't sit with Sebi. The reason why you didn't see Sebi running around, the reason why you never seen Sebi on most of these YouTube platforms is because he let them know you can't sit with me, nigga. I'm not fucking with none of you niggas. He was on Know the Ledge Radio, and that was it. And let's put that on a record. He was never on any other platform other than Know the Ledge, and that was on purpose, because he did not fuck with nobody else. He was 10 toes down. Sebi he did not hop on anybody because they gave him a phone call. He didn't blow in the wind like that. For everybody that's running around dick riding Dr. Sebi now that he's gone, that nigga could show me a receipt that they bought a fucking product from him. You know what I mean? All of these niggas in the fucking trailer, none of them are vegan, first of all, and none of them bought products from him. And then the bird ass nigga Common, he never even tweeted, rest in peace, Dr. Sebi. He never said nothing about him being cured by Dr. Sebi. You don't want me to tell the world what the fuck he cured you of, Common. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that to come out. That's why you probably wasn't saying nothing. But you, my man, I'm not gonna go in on you like that. But you didn't rep the big homie. This is big homie rules. I don't have to tell grown men how to fucking do it. You rep your ancestors. All you niggas talking about, you went back to Ghana. They didn't give you the tenets of ancestral worshiping. They didn't tell you how this is done. The way that this is done is that when one of us died, nigga, we're immortalized. We lit. You're supposed to say our fucking name. Them niggas didn't say Dr. Africa's name. I did not hear Dame Dash say Dr. Africa's name. And Dr. Africa did Dame Dash a favor by getting on his show, not the other way around. Okay? Not the other way around. Dame Dash did not help Dr. Africa by putting him on his show. Dr. Africa legitimized Dame Dash by getting on his show. That's what I'm saying. People have to reiterate and remind and rebrand. This whole shit gotta be rebranded because the brand is in the toilet. I didn't see him say he didn't run back a show. If he didn't run back a episode with Dr. Africa and say, yo, this is for Dr. Africa. I know you gave me advice because I was sticking myself with insulin. You know, if Dame Dash did not get no way healthier after being exposed to Dr. Africa, it's because Dame Dash's arrogance and his fucking ignorance probably did not allow him to take the goddamn herbs or to read the book and take it seriously, right? You have to always factor in niggas get in their own way sometimes and refuse to let a black man heal them. I had to watch that in disgust and in disdain in my earlier childhoods. Why do you think I ran to crime? I ran to criminal activities as a youth because I seen what they were doing to Dr. Sebi. And you niggas think that they was treating Dr. Sebi like a fucking god his whole life, and you're sadly mistaken. You're sadly mistaken. You know what I'm talking about? You don't know the kind of hate that man was enduring in the conscious community amongst these bird ass niggas who was birds back then. Can you get the shirt up? No, it's not on the site. We can't allow, they're desecrating our great ones. If Dr. Africa is not here to say, Dame Dash, you a hoe ass nigga for not saying nothing, then I'm gonna say it. Dame Dash, you a hoe ass nigga for not acknowledging Dr. Africa's fucking transition, bitch ass nigga. But if Billy Porter dies, or if the nigga D. Ray McKinson who got the COVID-19, if that nigga dies, then we all gonna have to know about it. You know what I'm saying? That's disrespect to the highest order. Our teachers are master teachers. Our master teachers are legend, bro. Our master teachers are fucking icons. These niggas running around talking about black excellence and they out here jacking our slang and whatnot. Nigga, that's black excellence. No fucking blacker excellence than Dr. Africa, nigga. Fuck is you saying? Fuck is you saying? But you niggas will big up all of these boule niggas. We supposed to be standing with Gail and all of this stupid shit. We need to draw the line, bro. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. You know, I'm tired. And the ancestors is tired of you niggas too, man. You know, there's no more riding the fence, bro. Either it is or it's not. Rest in peace. Yeah, Monk left. Yeah. All of the legends are leaving. But that means that they could be put on an altar. You could light a candle. You could put their picture on the altar and they'll work. You know what Dr. Delbert Blair was about. You know what Dr. Africa was about. Monk was about black power. Monk was about black power. You know? So when you call on them, you call on that energy. You know what I'm saying? It's on you. I'm not gonna tell you how to win this war. But I know what I'm gonna do. You know, and I know what I've done. I got something that I want to show y'all too. This is crazy. Y'all would not believe this shit, but damn, I can't get on Facebook. Fuck. The COVID-19, bro. This whole thing with people not working or something. This shit got eBay and Craigslist booming. This shit got Facebook booming. Facebook market is booming. Niggas is selling everything, bro. I don't know if you know about that, but niggas is selling everything. You know, everything is for sale for the low. Fam, I'm about to buy 5 Mac computers. 5. I'm buying 5 Mac computers. I seen them shits for $200. Okay? I'm gonna give up a stack. And I'm gonna set 5 Mac computers up. And that's gonna be like my Microsoft early stage picture. You know when them niggas be in the garage? Where did I get these boxes of masks? Nigga, I'm the plug. What you talking about? What do you mean, where did I get them? I made them. You know what I'm talking about? So let me show you the sewing machine. Nigga, we made these. I'm the plug. What are you talking about? Make sure they got the new Mac chips. Look, if they don't got the Mac chips, I'm going to use them for rendering. I'm going to use them for different programs. I'm going to spend about a rack. Matter of fact, this is what I'm about to do. I want to get you niggas involved. You know what I'm talking about? I want to get you niggas involved. So, not right now, not tonight, but on Ashy Wednesday show. I'm going to do it on Ashy Wednesday show. Right? I'm going to do it on Ashy Wednesday show. We're going to do, I'm going to show somebody's going to match $500. I'm going to bring $500 to the table, and then we're going to match that $500, and I'm going to go right on the website and purchase it live, right? I'm going to buy all 5 of the computers, and I'm going to buy them right there. I'm going to show the family, look, this is what we do. Those 5 Macs are going to help me build my media empire. That's gonna be the beginning of my media empire. I don't even do 2 rackies, just 1 Rackington. I want to show you the Facebook page where they selling these computers, but on this computer I'm not logged into Facebook, and they got the 3-step verification shit. I don't want to go through all of that. But we'll show you on Wednesday. What I do want to do is show you, because I did talk to you about Biggie and that new song. Shit, I want to bring some vibes, man. I want to play some new Biggie, bro. How about that? You got 1 verse. You got a verse. A white boy curated. He's a curator. He collects all things Biggie. So he got this unreleased track. Yeah, shout out to Scarface. He's on dialysis. You know, I know a few people on dialysis, so he's going to be all right. Check it.
Ain't no more verses.
Steps out the pad with the duffel bag. All the guns ahead, tipping granddad. Not the niggas mama said. I can't stand him and I don't know him. And he don't even know I'm about to blow him. About to show him. What goes around comes around. He should've thought about it. Now he got the fucking God about it. I mean this. Left the cup between us. 450 and the head center. I got a scope with the info. Boom, boom. Coward niggas got to meet their fate. The faggot got Jason on a slice of plate. Motherfucker. Any talker. Pass the gat about the sparkle. Lord forgive me, beg your pardon. Hey, Playboy.
Tell me who will be the one who fails to play. Static selection.
Ain't no more verses. Got shit rocking like I'm about to just drop some new shit. Steps out the pad with the duffel bag. All the guns ahead, tipping granddad. Not the niggas mama said. I can't stand him and I don't know him. And he don't even know I'm about to blow him. About to show him. What goes around comes around. He should've thought about it. Now he got the fucking God about it. I mean this. Left the cup between us. 450 and the head center. I got a scope with the info. Boom, boom. Coward niggas got to meet their fate. The faggot got Jason on a slice of plate. Motherfucker. Any talker. Pass the gat about the sparkle. Lord forgive me, beg your pardon. Hey, Playboy.
Tell me who will be the one who fails to play.
Ooh, that beat sound. That was good. Look. Ancestors work. That's what Jupiter in alignment with the planet of death, Osiris, the underworld. That's what that is. That's the resurfacing of unreleased tracks from 94. That's how the ancestors work. I'm just showing you a sign of how that works. Big from 94, coming back from the dead, right? Back from the dead, out of nowhere in 2020 with an unreleased 16, and that shit fire, right? Right? That's how it works. The subtleties, it's subtleties, but that is exactly what the alignment, right, was showing us about what the power of the April 4th conjunction brought. It brought the quote unquote digging up of things that were once buried, meaning that an old song, an old lyric, an old quote unquote bar, an old 16, an old book might be found, you know, might run into an old flame of yours and re-spark the candle. Yeah. And a COVID-19 Netflix and chill. Yeah, that part. No, it's Netflix and build. Damn. Netflix and build. Go build you a baby, build a bear or something. You know what I mean? Build and destroy. Yeah, Big's voice brings you back to the 90s. Who but him? Who but him? It's only two voices really, but the RZA and Jizza brought us back to 94. D Nice brought us back to 94, right? Kobe dying brought us back to 94. The whole Kobe shit brought us back to 94, right? Yeah, that shit gave me chills too. I sparked up and I listened to that and I cried because he sounds very happy. And just to show you, look, let me show you how the ancestors work, because this is the vibe that I was on. And I'm not making this up. I'm just the men lie, women lie. Look, this is the Biggie post. And then look at the other day. Right? That's my dad. And my grandfather, Ralph. Right? Shout out to Ralph. That's my dad. This is the fire for Ascension 2020. Right? Niggas is like, why you got pink lips? Fam, I didn't design this shit, bro. I'm just putting things together. But that's showing you the God nip and the fact that 1 year, almost to that day, because I remember the Easter, and he was buried in around that time, and he died, and it's been a year since that. and the whole world is upside down right now. But what I was showing you is this. Hold on. We got to go to Fred. But look, I caught this clip randomly. Like, when was this? 6 days ago.
Oh, what's up? It's Video Music Box. DJ Robert Days, right? What's up, man?
Remember, I was just talking about Video Music Box.
Oh, what's up? It's Video Music Box. DJ Robert Days, right? What's up, man?
Somebody called Panic. You got called Biggie on the hotline.
Oh, what's up? It's Video Music Box. DJ Robert Days, right? What's up, man? Oh, what's up?
Now, for some bars, my people, my loved ones, let's go to Fred the Godson. Rest in peace, rise in power to Fred. Fred got bars, y'all. This is BX. BX, stand up. Where my son at? Shout out to the Bronx. El Gordo.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Fred! Let's do it. All right, Flex.
Let's go.
We still strive for perfection. Shout out to New York, I like the direction. On the phone with my brother, he in correction. My bars up, we'll always have a connection. Block for protection, act big, get your coochie clap. Red down from the phone like it's Google Maps. You can rap, but I'm harder. Why run up on your range? Turn it to Lil Wayne and give your car the fire. Part of my different delivery. That crack house in the Bronx is what it did to me. Now we let the bass cook and show the white girl. So she'll network like Twitter and Facebook. It's my word, we had 7 to scale. Used to work with a bird like Kevin McHale. You get it? Now you got the Xannies, perks, and Oxycontins. Youngin told me, Fred, it works. The block is rocking. Who am I to tell them different? These rappers far from nice. Who am I to tell a distance? Hearing what you write, I don't know why you so persistent. Send me half your budget, I make it be of assistance. Past balls I'm in, and call your girl Kim, cause every time the car dash she in. Word clips well, 2 guns named Kelly and B, so it won't be a miss, chef. Y'all can't be talking to me. After my show, I have to be forced in the V. King of New York, Christopher walking to me. Biggie and Pumbo, Christopher walking to me. New body Tahoe, the block swerving. Since March 9th, never did like the box Suburban. Now you got something bright with high beams. Or get a clear drop and call it the Vizine.
Yeah.
What y'all looking for? Can't Fred the God spit bars anymore. Let my flow sag down to the floor. Have y'all thinking about a metaphor? Nah, Flex, they don't want to hear it. They can't get near it. So it's fair. So I'm trying to make it too interfering. Won't stop till you pussies bleed. Praying, touch it. I've been stopping. Like Chris Paul, I might clip it a rocket. Lawyer payday. Swinging with battery, Radio Raheem and the Asian.
Yeah.
I do the right thing when I write things. Try and stay true, that's the right thing. Watching CNN, that's my wife thing. I'm Nori, I'm bumping CNN while bagging up the white thing. Product of the ghetto though. The D's on our heels and we still let those go. Hills, notice I said stiletto. Still, long nose, the pedal to the metal. You in a race with the devil, get you erased in that Louis. You in LV, I'm the rebel. Yes, armrest in the viewing. Might be the best that ever do it. We're chosen. I'm going to rap tours till you find a garage to put the rolls in. Tell your entourage I goes in. Shooters outside your aunt's garage. You owe him. What you expect? Every shot of be silent. You in debt. And that to being silent. And then be actually known for being violent. Clap that heat. Everybody they gon' squeeze like cheap ass seeds. Everybody he knows bleed. We gon' see. New York City, I'm what your flow needs. And knowing the streets fuck with you. And I never sold my soul. I can sleep comfortably. Get your pants credit that blow. They keep coming through. You're paid to your mother is clear. Denise Huxtable. Goldo writing again. Why I wasn't on the cypher again? I don't know. I just know not many rappers is nicer than him. I bring that metaphor life to the pen. I'm trying to win like Hurricane Matthew doing. Pill slow, I hurricane. What Matthew doing? If it's about $1, you can hit me. Okay.
All right. So we're gonna end it with this, y'all. We're gonna play the video by my brother Crumb. Shout out to Crumb TV. Oh, hold on. We gotta play my evil twin Uzi, my doppelganger. You really go to my birthday. This is the energy.
Hey, I gotta tell this story, bro. How good God is, bro. I ran out of insulin yesterday, and this lady.
This is the energy of 2020, y'all. This is the corona rising. This is Ascension Protocol right here, right? This is Ascension Protocol right here, okay? Because this is how this thing works, y'all. And it's just ironic that my doppelganger, my evil dark hermit twin, is the one delivering the information. Look how that works.
Hey, I gotta tell this story, bro. How good God is, bro. I ran out of insulin yesterday, and this lady drove 3 hours to bring me insulin. And when she got here, I tried to pay her. She said, "I don't want your money." She just took a picture and left. We went around the corner and won $10,000 on the scratch off. Right after she left here, she went right around the corner and won $10,000 on the scratch off. Man, God good, bro. I appreciate you, lady. And God appreciated you. That's why he blessed you like that. I appreciate that shit. You deserve it, bro. I was fucked up.
He said, God appreciated you, bro. Fucking with that. Appreciate it. Oh, here we go.
Charlemagne the God and them doing their fucking toenail polish while they sit on the phone. The Woke Joke Peanut Gallery.
And welcome to Men on Vacation.
One of the most secretive things out there is the Fuckboy Network.
Today we'll be reviewing our little European vacation from a male point of view.
Somewhere in the deep web, some smoky room in ghetto USA, it's a bunch of fuck niggas that have come together under the cloak of secrecy.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Jules, the gum that explodes in your mouth.
Now they got Instagram Live. Before, it was niggas with their little private message groups where they do all kind of girly shit.
You know, it's so chilly out here, my nipples are hard.
And that's where the homoeroticism comes in, where he hands his coworker an actual duplicate.
That is a mold
of his ass.
Of my ass. Ooh, don't you tear my ass up like that. You be gentle with my ass. What is this, balls? Listen. Is that your balls? If you want them to be. It's got a lifelike hole. Put your thumb in there. No. Come on now. I'm not putting my thumb in your butt. This is your gift. Drum, you staring at it. You this feels like you're trying to tempt me. Those are Christmas cheeks. You're flirting with me.
That is his work husband.
Lotion my ass. There you go. There you go.
How would you feel about this?
And the flag in the background makes the whole atmosphere acceptable. And they're putting on for the audience that they put that flag up there for. You have to remember, all of those machinations is Charlemagne feeding his base. So the homoerotic behavior is for them to feed Billy Porter and those niggas. But they gotta feed the ratchet demon, white devils. They gotta feed the fucking LBGT, the fucking Harvey Weinstein ass demon.
White devils.
And they trying to come at people who are questioning the 5G.
Somebody said you went full Hotep. Agreed.
Can't no 5G nigga call me a Hotep.
It's a 5G conspiracy theory that is dominating Black America's conversation in response to the COVID-19.
I got to salute you because I love the way that you highlighted the impact that coronavirus was having on the Black community.
This is not the flat earth.
I didn't even think you said that, but I know you're a 5G flat earth.
First of all,
these weird ass niggas be trying to brush niggas off.
I try not to talk to 5G niggas ever.
As if these niggas are the fucking voice of the people.
Deprogram yourself.
You don't got bars like that, Charlemagne. If you talk about 5G, we're gonna have to get you a kufi. That's what Van Jones said. Look, Charlemagne disrespected Umar Johnson.
Let's go. Let's go, Dr. Umar Ride. Let's go.
And they're like, yo, if you want to keep Black men away from voting,
just put up a sign that says 5G tower.
Just say that there's 5G towers over there.
I'll die.
Oh. And then Leonard said, yeah, niggas
out here like Umar trying to sound deep. Umar got you kind of wavy.
You're a psychiatrist, you know. I like everything you're saying.
The conscious niggas lit your fire. You know what I mean? Cleared your fucking skin up and everything. Then after that, Dick Gregory came up there and screamed on your bird ass.
No. Listen to me now. Do I need to leave here? You're not paying attention.
Because he knew that you was a weird ass nigga. You could throw Dr. Umar Johnson under the bus. He threw this man's name out there like this man did not just come on his platform and light it up. It had like 2 million views. And while he was up there, this nigga was like a fucking seal. But now when you around Angela Rye on a live, you on a live with 85ers. You on a live with the fucking Rainbow Coalition. Joe Biden is watching Andrew Schultz. You on live with Jeff Rosenberg. You'll do a fucking interview with Bill Gates and we'll try to laugh with this nigga and hit him up for a free Xbox. You niggas are lap dancers, the new Karangas, not these niggas, not Oprah's book club, not the children of W.E.B. Du Bois, not you niggas, not the new Boule.
That's why I don't block my haters on social media. I want them to see me shine.
Crumb TV.
Sharp.
Somebody said, that woman drove to give Boozy some Hennessy. No, she gave him insulin. Insulin, not Hennessy. He's diabetic. She gave that man insulin. He was dying. Yeah, well, you know, that's just part one. That's part one of the, I'm doing a series called the Woke Joke Peanut Gallery. The Woke Joke Peanut Gallery. That was Charlemagne. You know what I'm talking about? That was just Charlemagne. There's a whole bunch of niggas in the Woke Joke Peanut Gallery. So we starting with him. You know what I'm talking about? And we gonna watch the whole fucking crew. The whole goddamn crew. You know, the whole brunch is getting washed. So they already got enough footage. You know, niggas got piles of evidence against them. You know what I'm talking about? They talking about Donald Trump and the secret indictments. Nigga, we got secret indictments. How about that? Fuck out of here. You niggas is on Donald Trump's planners. Nigga, fuck out of here. We got the secret indictments. We out here serving warrants. How about that? Why don't you niggas start talking about that part? You know what I mean? I'll never sit back and wait for Donald Trump to do the dirty work. With that being said, we are out of here for the night. Blue Pill will be back. On Tuesday. I see you on Thursday as well. All of the viewers for the last lecture, Ascension Protocol 2020. As soon as that file is available, I will have it for viewer. You'll have it on demand. We'll have it on Netflix. Yes, we're gonna have it on Netflix as well. And yeah, that's how we're gonna rock it. Yeah. Spread this show like a rumor. Subscribe. You know, all of that fly shit. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bells. And make sure you do the thumbs up. Make sure you leave a tip at the table. You know, all of that. You know, all that. You already know what it is. You know, if you can, you're not obligated to, but if you can hit the Cash App, because I don't do, you know, we don't do Super Chat. We do Cash App. They don't, you know, we don't rock with them like that. And they don't rock with us. So we're good with that. Go to Netflix to sign up. You know, if it's giving you any issues, you know, let me know or whatever. You know, it's still in beta. Everything is in beta. You know, this is the rollout. Please get at me for this 4X, this 4X Academy. please tap into this 4X Academy. I'm not begging you. I'm just saying. I could speak confident about it now because I've got paid by them about 2 or 3 times. So I know that it's official. So my confidence about what this shit is real. And I'm here to let you know that the 4X Academy and the bots, the motherfucking bots, bro. The bots is out here working your money for you while you sleep. You know, the shit is real, bro. So please tap in, get with this information. To be honest with you, this is one, you see this thing, no job lifestyle, right? That's one income stream. We're looking to do at least 5. The average human being, the average person should have at least 5. Especially my students, KT aliens, we should at least have 5. So let's walk together. If we walk together, we'll be able to benefit and profit off of walking together. You don't want to walk in the woods alone. You would rather walk mad deep. You walk through the woods mad deep, you're gonna knock some fucking trees down. You're gonna pick up other people along the way. You're gonna make noise, and you're gonna scare away all of the people who might have wanted to harm you. The same thing in the cyberspace. As we're moving as a unit, as we're moving as a network and network marketing, as we're moving as a unit in online marketing, whatever we choose to use, don't let anyone ever stigmatize moving through the fucking cyberspace in large numbers. That's where that's where the money is at. That's where the success is at. So we can move through these networks or these income streams, build these streams, and drink from it until it dries up. Because nothing lasts forever except the ocean. Build these streams together. I wanna create it. I wanna come up with 4 more streams that's like this. Because you got Forex, you got the stock market, you got silver, you trade in rock. They got the rock market where you could trade stones. They got a rock market, they have a market where you trade stones and stuff. It's a bunch of things. I don't want to reveal everything right now, but it's a bunch of streams out there. I'm gonna need y'all to tap in, and I'm gonna give you that information when you tap in. But right now, you could deal with, there's aspects of the gig economy. People are making money at home, tapping into the gig economy, working for Fiverr. There are people that are tapping into the ride share economy, working for Uber, working for Uber Eats, Lyft, DoorDash, all of that stuff. There's people at home making designer masks, making money off of masks and ventilators. Not ventilators, but face masks, these, right? See, they got this. They got fabrics. And you got you a product. That's another income stream. So you could have your Obama check, you got the Trump check, right? The stimulus check. You got your tax refunds. You getting Forex money. You making masks and whatnot. And you got an OnlyFans page. Look, 5 motherfucking streams right there. You know what I'm talking about? Thank me later. You know what I'm talking about? Thank me later. But I'm out of here. I got work to do. I gotta finish some more. Kanye just became a billionaire this week. Anything is possible. Remember, he was $500 million in debt a few years ago on the radio crying. Damn near crying. And what did he do? He got into manufacturing. What I've always been telling the family. He got into producing. He got into manufacturing. He got into taking care of his own. He took his business in his own hands. Vertically integrated his sneaker business. And now he's become a billionaire. He said that he has $3 billion And he got 4,000 acres in Wyoming. He knows something that we don't. As crazy and as off motherfucking center, and as much as they played in that man's brains, as much as they played in his mind, because he was dealing with they were neurologically he was neurologically intercepted, meaning that he had behavior modification. They put him under behavior modification where he got extracted from his house. He got renditioned from his house. And is it $97? Yes, 97 until the end of the month. Matter of fact, yeah, I forgot to say that. Instead of the 150, it's $97 until the end of April. Take advantage of it. I promise you, you would not regret that. You're gonna learn. You're gonna earn. You're gonna learn, and you're gonna burn. You know what I mean? And you're gonna be able to go into the Telegraph group. You can talk to the CEO personally. You know, it's there for you. All right. He honors the Baphomet. Really? Due to knowledge to Forbes sources. Okay. Who reports to Forbes? Okay. The Garvey drip will be on the website by tomorrow. Kingscounty.big cartel. We're about to change that website to kngzknty.com. We'll have a rollout for the new site. That's going to be a Shopify site that's coming very, very soon. We will be closing down the Big Cartel store and shifting it over to Shopify. So look out for that. All right. Even if you type in the old address, it'll just automatically send you to the new store. But new store, new products, new manufacturing, new management. It's going to be lit. You know what I mean? It's going to be lit. So thank you, all of my supporters. All right. Thank you, all of my supporters, everybody who believed in us, everybody who's, look, there's been no murders in Chicago and no murders in 3 weeks in Miami. It hasn't happened since '64. They're not killing each other, y'all. They're not killing each other. I don't know what the summer's going to look like. I'm dealing with it now. Wow. Why would I talk about the summer? I'm dealing with it now. Set them laptops up to mine crypto. Yeah, exactly. You need a server to mine crypto. I can get all of that. Am I gonna get more jewelry? Yeah, as soon as the jewelry comes, I'm gonna show y'all. I got the jewelry on the way. The jewelry's on the way. There have been murders here. What, Chicago? All right, well then it was Miami or shit. You niggas out here. Miami. There's somewhere in America niggas are not dying. How about that? There's somewhere where niggas was dying and they're not dying. Right? Go ahead and claim them bodies. Cool. Y'all in Chicago dying. All right. Well, there's somewhere where this fucking madness is not taking place. Right? Give me 1 minute, y'all. Because we want to bring joy. We want to bring joy. We want to bring facts. We want to bring information so people don't lose their faith, because niggas is faith-based. You know what I'm talking about? Our people is faith-based. So there you go. Money is a major issue. Miami motherfucking Dade, 305, where them choppers ride, where they slide and the motherfucking choppers slide, them choppers glide. Yeah, no murder for 7 weeks in sunny Miami. No murders. In Miami, they Miami vice. Like Miami's off the chain. How the hell is this bitch murder free for 7 weeks? That's crazy. So, with that being said, you know, thank you, ancestors. Love and light to the ancestors. You know, are ascending. The energy, God will rise. Ermias Ashtagan, the energy is rising. God is rising. You know what I'm saying? Our people are rising. Don't believe what they're telling you. They don't even know what's going on. They don't even know what's going on. If they're not going to talk spiritually to you, they can't talk to you. Fuck out of here. There's no way that CNN could tell you what's going on. Because what's going on, they don't even talk about shit like that on CNN. So what the fuck are you looking at them for? Trying to get your information. And they're not even allowed to tell you what's going on because they don't even know how to comprehend it. They're not that fucking deep. You know what I'm talking about? So tap into those who can explain to you what's going on. And for those who tell you what's going on, you know, treat those people like they mean something. The COVID-19 and the coronavirus has disrupted this world where people who are essential were being treated non-essential. The tables have turned. You're going to have to treat the people amongst you who are essential, who are really doing the work, like they are more worth than P. Diddy, Jay-Z, and DJ Khaled combined. If them niggas are billionaires, then I'm a fucking trillionaire. That's what I'm saying. That's where we're going. You're going to have to put your support. You're going to have to put your attention. You're going to have to put everything that matters on the right people, and you can't willfully utilize cognitive dissonance. You can't play both sides of the fence. That's not how this is working. Yeah, I heard that there was a Gates Foundation email dump. I'm going to get off of this show and go read the motherfucking emails. I'm going to go and do some diving, you know, because the planets are working. The planets are working. Thank you, Pluto. Thank you, Jupiter. And thank you, Saturn. You know what I'm talking about? Thank you for doing what the fuck you said that you was going to come and do, because you damn sure did that. You damn sure did that. You delivered what the hell you promised. You brought death and destruction. That's what you did. So at least we know that you niggas keep your word. I don't know about everybody else. With that being said, love and light.